Ooh, hi everyone. Welcome in. My name is Wax Philosophical and I like to wax the philosophical. And today we are having a chill day because I feel like we deserved it. We are doing a little bit of news because there is a update on the Graham Platner situation, and I'm happily wrong this time. So far, he is still in the race, but he has put out a video saying that he was going to drop out of the race. But as far as I'm aware, he hasn't officially filed his papers yet. So until he actually files his papers, he's still technically in the race, and he could retract his previous statement and decide to stay in the race, which, like, I don't, he's saying that it's complicated to try to drop out or something like that, but I'm pretty sure you can just, like, submit papers and be like, okay, well, fun while it lasted, I guess. Like, I don't know. Anyways, like, I'm still also hearing from people that they don't understand why what's happening with Platner is such a big deal and all this other stuff. And it's just kind of like, okay. But I also see them, like, skirting around their own responsibility in the entire situation, like, quite expertly. And so, I don't know. I guess when people tell you who they are and they show displays of who they are, you should probably listen to that. Like, it's not like people can change, but, like, I always say, like, Marjorie Taylor Greene can change, and I still would not want to elect her into a position of, like, power. She could become the most left wing, white wokest person in the fucking world, and I would still have reservation about her, right? Like, I would still be like, okay, do the normal thing, start a fucking podcast like people do, like start a podcast or something when you decide that you want to change, because, like, it's reasonable for people to hold some level of skepticism towards you. So, and then, it was like with Graham Platner, it was just so many things after another. But thankfully, Troy Jackson comes out as pro Palestine, which is fantastic. However, there's also apparently some more muddy stuff in his past that he needs to sort of, like, brush up against too, and, like, get that, like, sorted out as well. And then we have a really interesting and kind of hilarious, like, rabbit hole that I found about Jeremy Renner app. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of that before, but feel free to let me know. I don't have it in the title, but we're actually going to be live rating people's streams, so I have to make note of what time it is that we start the rating so that I can, like, just send the information to whoever it is that we're rating. So it might take me a second to just type in their name as well as the timestamp as to when their rating starts and stuff like that. And feel free to comment as well. However, I do have rules about how we're going to proceed with this. Because, you never know. We do get trolls in here sometimes, and I want to keep this as, like, constructive as possible and as, like helpful as possible, because I don't think there's any point in fucking reviewing your channel if I'm not gonna be able to offer you anything that will get, like, help improve if I ever see something that could be an issue. And I'm gonna try and rate your channel from the viewpoint of being a viewer rather than from the perspective of another streamer. Although I think if there's, like, little things, like, something that I need to do is need to add a little, Prime button, because that can help increase your subs and stuff like that. So if you don't have that, I'll mention that. And then there's some other things. But yeah, after that, we're going to do some Meccha Chameleon. And I hope everybody's having a good day today. We're going to hop on over to politics right now so we can get into it. We're not going to start with Jeremy Renner. Yeah, it's such a strange story that I felt like I had to share it. I don't know. It's just so weird. But yeah, we're going to start by watching Surf's Times. They are excellent. I don't know if they stream anymore on Twitch or if they've decided to go strictly to YouTube. Let me check, actually. What the hell? Just a second. I'm just checking to see if they still have the Surf's TV. I think that's it. Let's see. Videos? They must have been on recently because they have something on Graham Platner. Let's see. Yesterday. I wonder I can't see them in my thingy. Oh well. I'll have to take a closer look. Maybe I just skip over them accidentally. Anyways, check out the Surfs Time. They are on Twitch also under the Surfs TV. Let me do this. Just a second. There you go. Go check them out. We're going to watch this video about Graham Platner having dropped out. He dropped out this on Wednesday. So, I mean, he said he was going to drop out on Wednesday. It's now Friday, and he hasn't. And I don't know if he can drop out over the weekend because offices and stuff might be closed. So he has until the 13th, which is Tuesday? Monday. He has until Monday. So if he doesn't drop out today, that's like just one day for him to drop out. Why do I feel like he's still not going to drop out? Why do I feel like he's gonna, oopsies, I missed the deadline. I'm so sorry. I got too drunk or something. And now you have no choice but to run me kind of a thing? Can't you just overthrow him and be like, no, this is the nominee. Screw you. We've all said no. Just because you dragged your feet long enough to be forced into the race doesn't mean that we're going to accept you. Then again, there might be enough Mainers who are willing to forgive this kind of thing or like look over this kind of thing for what they might benefit from the situation or what they're being told they'll be benefiting from the situation. Like he's like a liberal or a leftist version of Donald Trump. And that doesn't mean that you elect him into office. Like, look what happened for Meccha, who believed all the lies of Donald Trump. And then when he got into office, he turned into be the opposite person that we thought that he would be. Well, now we have like so many fucking warnings that finally like Caucasian leftists are like finally like cluing in and being like, yeah, maybe he wasn't the best choice ever. Like maybe he wasn't the best choice. Like, and some people are still like, no, I still stand by him even like after everything else that's come out. And it's just like, I don't understand that logic, but regardless, we're gonna get into this video. Enough yammering about that. But Graham Platner is done is the title of the video, and it's my.
You have welcomed me into your homes, into your places of work.
He just kind of gives me the willies a little bit. I don't know. Like even before this, like there's just something about his eyes that gives me the willies. I cannot place it.
Restaurants, in your houses of worship.
We're talking about a man by all measures in other contexts who would be viewed as a serial killer.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, regardless of the inaccuracy of the reporting, but mindful of the political reality it will inflict, we are taking the time to reflect on the best path forward for the state that I love.
Disclaimer, legal commentary and fair use. The following content is for the purposes of news reporting, critique, and educational commentary on a matter of public interest. All views expressed are my own. This video complies with the section 107 of the Copyright Act Fair Use and follows the principles of responsible communication under Canadian defamation law. The material used is for analysis and is strictly factual. No statement in this video are intended to assert or imply the truth of any third-party allegations. Yeah, that's fair. 100%. Like, we're going based upon the information that we have. And as long as you say allegedly, you should be fine because you're just reporting on the facts, which it is an allegation, not a, judicial condemnation, I guess you could say. Conviction.
The people that I love, the movement I belong to, and the goal.
You're also allowed to form your own opinion, though, and state that it's your own opinion, but it is good to express why you formulated the opinion you have.
Of defeating Susan Collins.
Disclaimer, this video contains opinions, analysis, satire, and the discussion of controversial topics. While it strives to be factual due to the reactionary nature of the content, it is only presented as opinion rather than fact or assertion. Yeah. It does not assert or claim to establish facts regarding the conduct. Yeah, if you're just reporting on something, then you're not, creating facts, so long as it's just something that you're reporting on having heard somebody else say, and you let them know, like, this is just from articles and stuff like that. Like, this is directly from Graham Platner's mouth, so, like, these are just his own words. You're not making it up. He's the one that's been saying it and stuff like that, and you're just reporting on it. You're not creating facts. You're just reporting on them. Or an intent of any individual. No defamatory meaning is intended, and all viewers are encouraged to review primary sources independently. 100%. Don't ever rely strictly on my opinion or reporting on a situation. If you don't trust a source, you're welcome to also let me know why you don't trust a source, and then I might reconsider. But like, yeah, you can like find your own information, and I encourage you to, because maybe you decide ultimately that you disagree with this entire situation. Like, I don't freaking know. Make up your own mind.
Those were the goals when we launched this campaign, and they remain my goals today. On June 9th, 154,058 Mainers, the most in primary history.
He sounds guilty. He sounds like someone who's probably going to be moving on or stepping down, to be completely honest, and leaving a lot of us.
I don't know. He only has like one day. He only has like one day after today. I don't know what time it is in Maine right now, but I'm pretty sure offices are closed. So unless he submitted today, he's only got Monday. He's only got Monday to do it, most likely. I don't know. I would hate to be fucking right on this. I would hate to be right on this. This would be freaking awful. I hope that he does do the right thing and steps down, but
just
who knows?
That, what the fuck? Kind of. How did things get this bad? I was trying to point out earlier that, like, if Graham Platner is not a CIA op, which I do not believe he is. I'm not trying to Alex Jones this at all. But, like, you have to think functionally, if he had been, what does that say about someone trying to infiltrate spaces and how people treat that individual in relation to, like, if you have a platform, I happen to have one. I'm very thankful. Thank you to everyone who's watching right now and deciding to choose to have your morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you're watching this right now with me. That does come with certain responsibility. And that responsibility is, hey, by the way, if we are part of a, broadly speaking, global leftist movement to try and end all unjust hierarchies, then we have to, if we are in the imperial core, or if you happen to be in Canada like I am, or the United States or Europe, or one of the many countries that has for years plundered the global south, that we cannot suddenly start to hold up people who had direct action in that, who bragged about doing multiple tours of duty, not one, but multiple tours of duty, returning multiple times to return to combat in illegal imperial wars where
Yeah, this is something that I don't understand, because it feels like he just kind of got tired of it. Like, he had his fun, and then he got tired of it, and then he had the luxury of being like, yeah, maybe that wasn't the best move in life, but oh well, moving on now, and everybody else should just move on with me, because, you know, all the families and all the people that I murdered or killed over there, you know, they don't really matter, so we shouldn't really consider them because they're not in the Western hemisphere, and it's easy to forgive somebody else for somebody else's murder, like, without even considering how they might feel. It's very, very interesting that people are, like, you know, willing to forgive multiple murders, because, and I think that it's like, this is my assumption, but like, when you do kill somebody, it is still murder. It's just whether or not it is justified, essentially. Right? Like, because it could be self-defense. I saw some video, I don't know if we watched it on stream or not, of him talking about his teammate, I believe it was, and there was a video of the gunfire and all this other stuff. Nobody was injured, thankfully, at least on their side. But yeah, like, you know, as Lance says, who this is, sorry for that pause, it's such a terrible pause. There we go, that's a little bit better. But like, as Lance says, it takes like Graham Platner out of the context of war, and he is arguably a serial killer, right? Who now claims to regret it, despite the fact that we've also seen other horrible, like, awful behavior from him. And it's not like he just made one quote unquote mistake. Apparently he made like, what, up to 10 like major oopsies for 5 tours, and like switching companies to continue on doing these tours, claiming that you had no idea what else to do. Get a job at fucking McDonald's, and if it doesn't pay enough, like, work to fucking unionize, right? Like, there, who is it? Bad Empanada is like, unions are like some sort of like like not communist, like capitalistic trap. Like, who you're such a fool for, like, unions are a stepping stone, right? If we had stronger unions, we would all, generally speaking, have stronger bargaining rights. The unions are a good thing. That doesn't mean that we keep to unions forever. However, right now we kind of need them because, you know, corporations aren't playing fair, and we need to like group our power together, kind of a thing. I don't remember how I got here, but like, yeah, like unions are a good thing. They're good. Work together. But yeah, like you can like do work as a secretary. You could work at a grocery store. You could have a couple of jobs, like many Americans do. That doesn't mean that you go back to killing people for money and then use like, oh, why just did silly me. Like, it took me like 3 seconds to think of like 3 different types of jobs you could take up that would like help you pay your bills, right? Because like the U.S. Army doesn't really take care of its vets all that well. Anyways, there were alternatives, but there was always alternatives for him, and he always seemed to choose like the worst thing all the time while claiming that he always was going to be doing the right thing, because I'm pretty sure when he was doing those tours and having an absolute fucking blast killing people, he probably thought that he was doing the right thing. I can understand if he became disillusioned with that eventually, but for like, it took him an egregiously long amount of time to come around to this understanding, because wasn't his last tour in like, what, 2018? I think it was, something like that. I'm not 100% sure. You should look this up yourself, but it wasn't that long ago. And then this most recent allegation is from 2021, I believe it is. So
and bragging about committing war crimes against fucking civilians, and then returning again as a mercenary. After all of that, like, you just could not get enough killing yet to come back as a mercenary. And then running, you know, later after going through all these changes and growth and stuff like that. The really shitty thing about this is that it perfectly positioned everyone to have a moral grandstand, no matter where you were coming at this from. If you were suddenly like questioning the progressives who were supporting Graham Platner and putting him on a pedestal and acting as if he is like the future of, like, you know, the anti-war leftist movement, then in so doing, there's going to be a lot of other people who are justifiably going, what the fuck? Yeah. Like, what the fuck? And if you take this to a point where it's like, well, you know what? We need to have a policy where we actually allow and give room for people to change. Absolutely. This was never that. And the fact that this was something where people positioned it as that, where it's like, here's someone who used to be racist and had racist takes, but they've improved. And it's like, yeah, okay, who amongst us has not had racist takes in the past? That's a very, very important thing, right? Sorry, back to Graham Platner. To the other people who have been basically for a very long time trying to position themselves in a way where it's like, Graham Platner ultimately, he's a change man. This is a really strong example of restorative justice. And because he went online, he went on Reddit, and he you know, while on Reddit was effectively backing down off his really fucked up racist takes towards black people, his misogynistic takes towards women, his racist.
Where I don't really understand where the restorative justice part came in here, because he's never really been held accountable until now for any of the things that he's done. In fact, he was paid for some of the stuff that he did. Like, he survived off of killing people, like, right? Like, regardless of like whether it's for the army or privately, when you do these things, you're still like, you know, killing people for money, right? At the end of the day. Even if your life is at risk, you're willing to take that risk because you feel like the money is so worth it. And it's just like, I can understand people are so fucking desperate that they like somehow can't survive off of any less pay, maybe, and it would cause them to eventually slowly starve to death, and that's a horrible way to go, kind of a thing. But like, it's kind of hard to justify with Graham Platner given of what his, you know, parents' financial backing was for him. Right, like $200,000, I think it was alleged that he got, and then he went to a 70. Like, these are just allegations. I don't remember if I've seen them reported in news sources, so take them with a grain of salt. But like $75,000 schooling per year or something like that when he was growing up, kind of thing. So he wasn't hurt like growing up in a you know, what would be constitute the middle class, because I don't know any middle class person that can afford $75,000 a year for schooling. That definitely puts you at the very least upper middle class, if not rich. Anyway,
takes towards indigenous people, his homophobic takes towards gay people. He has grown, and that's a really good example of people who can grow and people who can change. And all that you're saying right now is not something that anyone else is going to be on the other side of, and you're putting people in an awkward position by doing that, of making them have to suddenly be like, oh, sorry, am I not standing up for restorative justice with this guy? You're right. I mean, he had served his time, and it's through serving his time that he was able to learn about the evils of the American empire, and that's why he wants to stop it. I'd always said from like the very start, I want to be proven wrong about Graham Platner.
Yeah,
like, I want
same
to be,
here.
like,
Same here. And like when I thought that I would be wrong, I didn't think there would be anything like this. Like that, I don't know why I didn't like. There was I remember this interview that he had, and it was really, really strange because they kept on asking him if all of like the people that he'd been with had been like adults and stuff like that. And it's just kind of like, what? Like, where on earth is this coming from? Because there was no like whisper or anything like that. It was just kind of weird. So he like denied that too. Like he has only been with adults, and I believe him on that one. But like this is a little bit much. Because there's always something else with him, like always. It's crazy.
Now we're like, Lance, you must be doing a fucking victory lap, eh? Blah, blah, blah. No, this fucking sucks for everyone. This is horrible.
Yeah.
A woman was sexually assaulted. This monster, for a very long time, has been in the good graces of a lot of people who are willing to continuously downplay the very legitimate concerns that a lot of people, and I should always emphasize here, people of color specifically, were bringing up about this monster, or people from other countries who had directly been affected by the imperial wars of the United States, and all throughout that process having to sit back and be like, I'll be honest with you,
maybe we should like do a better job of ensuring that all of our allies don't come from in our own basket, so that we have like this skewed perspective on whether or not we're the ones that get to decide whether or not this person is forgiven or not for their egregious behavior, like decade after decade, like incidents after incidents. Like he had a long ass run, right? Like he's not a young man. His tattoo is old enough to literally be considered a vintage art piece because he's had it for so long, right? Like he had it for so long that it became a vintage status. And it like just like the way that people were defending him. Like, oh, well, he was at a Jewish wedding with his top off and nobody said anything. It's just like, well, we don't actually know that, right? Like, and nobody seemed to stop and question, like, why that video was even leaked in the first place to let people know. Like, did we even talk to the person who took that video? We haven't even heard from them or anything about that. Like, we have no freaking clue. We're all just, like, throwing assumptions on, and they were the most favorable assumptions. And for some reason, like, people didn't stop to think for a minute of the adverse reasons why somebody might have taken that video, or like maybe they didn't realize at the time, or somebody else eventually realized and knew, and then when they saw Graham Platner in the news and stuff like that, they finally had to come forward, just like all the other allegations that like have occurred with Graham Platner, because so many people have had such a terrible fucking experience with him before he became a public figure, that like there was just so much that once the dam broke, it was just like there was just so much. It was just so much all the time, and every single time he's denied all of it, like except for like some things that like is a tactic for people. Like they'll admit to like some things to make themselves seem more honest about like their behavior and stuff like that, but then they'll deny the more extreme stuff. They're like, no, I'm being honest, I'm not a perfect person, kind of a thing. And it's just like, nobody is a perfect person. It's just some people are drastically worse than others. Like, I don't know. Like, I mean, there are some perfect people, and they're like babies. You know, babies are perfect. Don't hurt babies. I've been reading way too much Reddit, like just awful things. I'm on this like subreddit. It's just completely unrelated, called Women Are Violent Too or something like that. It's so many stories, man. So many stories. What the fuck? It is so fucked up. I mean, I know our population is large, but still, Jesus Christ.
for everyone right now who's oddly ride or die for this candidate in Maine. Like, I'm not an American, and I don't live in Maine, so this is a very
the dislike button is
centralized or
back?
localized,
That's weird.
election. Why
I
do
guess
I hear
people
so much
complained
about
enough.
it? Why?
It's a weird thing to want back. Dislike button. Can we see the numbers though? I don't think so. 630 likes, but we can't see the dislike proportion. You have welcomed me into your homes. Well, apparently that wasn't necessary since you would have come in either way. Oof, that's rough. Ugh. I keep getting triggered by this, and all I have to say is that I am just glad that I do not have spare keys, man. Just glad that I don't give people my spare keys. Feels pretty good. There is some mental disconnect when people decry settler colonialism in Israel, but defend Platner, who wrote that if he could choose to fight in any war in history, it would have been the Indian Wars. Why? Why would you want to fight war? Like, war is horrible. Unless you feel like you're so much overpowered than your counterpart that you're assured to win. But, like, you still, like, are treating people like fucking churn. Like, but that doesn't bother you? I guess not for some people. Not just the fact that it was a Nazi tattoo, but he got it to commemorate his time killing Iraqi civilians, in Fallujah. Yeah, like, Jesus Christ. I mean, some people did see warning signs in privately educated guy who said he'd rape an intruder, got brain broken by Hemingway's-esque brainworms, enjoyed killing so much he signed up for it multiple times, guarded a tour camp, worked as a mercenary, bragged about disobeying orders by the US military that you shouldn't commit war crimes. But yeah, man, real, how could we have known situation right here? That was terribly written. Okay, anyways, let's get back to the video.
Is he appearing on all these shows? Why is he always on Breaking Point? Why is he always fucking being touted by all these other big politicians in the United States as like, you know, some kind of future for either progressive or even, you could say, aggressive attack dog style leftist policies, you know, unapologetically anti-Israel, unapologetically not a Zionist, unapologetically against the U.S. imperial wars. Like, on paper, that sounds great. The spokesman for all that is a person who directly engaged in war crimes, and like, you can't escape that and then suddenly downplay anyone who has serious concerns about it, or get to a point where scandal after scandal after scandal starts coming out, and people were starting to, honestly, I know the people who were downplaying the tattoo, for example, they knew better. Like, people were genuinely like, oh, are we supposed to judge a man who has a skull tattoo that he got on a vacation in Croatia?
That comment about this, like, either way, even if he didn't know it was a Nazi tattoo, he was still commemorating having killed people and being, like, enjoying it so much, right? And that kind of makes me think, like, okay, maybe he did change his mind, and, like, but, like, I don't know, even like the allegation that somebody said that, like, they did communicate with him, and the person alleges that what he retorted was, and I'm paraphrasing here, that like, he kept it for, like, a reminder of his mistakes, kind of a thing. But it's just kind of like, I don't know, man. Like, why would you not want to change that too? Why? And then you get a runic one? I don't know.
With the rest of his, servicemen and buddies. I was like, sorry, tattoo parlor in Croatia by Jarheads? My Spidey sense is tingling here. That sounds bad. And then, oh my God, yeah, no, that's really bad. This is bad. This is not a, like, oopsie. Even if it was, if you found out
I know it sounds stupid, but I'm actually really, really cautious about who I get tattoos from. Like, I will look at your shit to see. And if you don't have a person of color in your, like, any singular person of color in your portfolio, it makes me feel like you would not treat me equally, and it makes me uncomfortable. And then I look at their flash art and stuff like that, and just like, Jesus Christ, I feel like I need to brush up all the time on like Nazi insignia, because I also don't want to just walk into a tattoo place and find out that it's a Nazi tattoo place. Like, that would suck, right? Like, Jesus Christ. You find out later, and it's just like, oh, great. That's fantastic.
Woke up tomorrow, right? You just first thing in the morning, and you're just like, yeah, good old memories and that thing. And then someone's like, hey, that's a Nazi tattoo. That's a very distinguishable skull. There's a name for it, right? If you look at the hats that the Nazis wore, on most of them at the very top are their belts, you know, when they were basically marching people off to the camps. It had that specific skull, very, very specific skull on it. You have a giant version of that tattooed on your chest, sir. And people genuinely were trying to get us to be like, oh yeah, you didn't know.
So another thing about the wedding that people who were defending him didn't seem to ever like want to acknowledge or consider, that maybe Graham Platner got so fucking drunk that he forgot that he had that tattoo, right? Like he might have forgotten. And then people are like, well, nobody stopped the wedding. It's like, first of all, we don't know that. We don't know if anybody went up to him, talked to him, like even in private, just not to disrupt the wedding. Because what would you want to do? Would you want to throw a huge hissy fit because this one loser decided to be like an ass for like, you know, like a certain amount of time of your entire wedding? Or would you want to try and enjoy your night and ignore him and then like maybe never talk to him again? Like we haven't heard anybody from the wedding either. Like that's the thing, is like we don't have much evidence except for the fact that it was a Nazi tattoo, you know, compounded with the fact that he got it to commemorate his time in Fallujah, killing Iraqis, as the comment said. And then, you know, the fact that like for 20 years, none of the people that got that tattoo with him knew it was a Nazi tattoo and didn't inform him if they did find out. I mean, it's really difficult to swallow and believe that like he didn't know. And it's constantly this like, don't believe the evidence in front of you. Don't believe all this stuff. I've changed, you know, I've changed as a person. Look, I finally covered it up. Despite the fact that there was also allegations that there were like staffers that told him what was going on. Like, I don't freaking know, man. Like, I don't know. It's all just like, it's incredibly, it feels almost insulting sometimes because of the way that Graham Platner has behaved and like all of the stuff that's come out, because it's just like, you know, I know it's impossible to prove a negative, but in his situation, like, wouldn't there be some way to look it up, like somehow, some of his records, where he was driving, anything through his bank statements? Did he purchase anything anywhere? Was he at home? Like, does he have any posts like of that evening that shows that he wasn't there during that time frame or anything like that that could show like the opposite and disprove the entire situation? It'd be harder like the further back you go, but like this wasn't that far back, right? So I don't know, it was like 5 years. It was in 2021. Anyway.
And then there's interviews where he actually did tell people that he knew. He called it my totem golf. Mine.
Oh no, is this true? I haven't seen those.
Oh, it's just a joke amongst bros, you know, who among us? And then you'd get the pushback to that from other people who were just so ready to defend this man at all costs. Excuse me, he married a Jewish woman, so yeah, you have no idea what you're talking about. I don't? No. Because he married a Jewish woman. So he's obviously, why would a man who you think is a neo-Nazi marry a Jewish woman? Well, okay, first off, I don't think it's as blatant as he is a, crypto, actual modern neo-Nazi. Like he owns, like Hitler regalia in a closet somewhere that when everyone's not watching, he's like, ha, ha, ha. He goes down into the basement and dresses up and starts doing a fucking goose step and shit like that. No, we don't live in a cartoon world. We live in the real world where actually the historical reality is that a lot of what the Nazis were modeling, some of their horrifying exterminationist policies, was after fucking us being Canadians, our eugenics project, our residential school system, the way we treated indigenous people. It was the Nazis who saw that and were like, oh, so maybe we should be doing this to people with disabilities, Jewish people, Romani people, gay people, trans people. So yeah, it turns out that like imperialism can take many forms. We have this idea where there's good guys Bad guys. Bad guys, Nazis. Very, very easy. Good guys, who beat the Nazis? Canada. Canada did. We beat the Nazis. And America, too. So Canada and America beat.
However, our last residential school, I think it didn't close until after the 1970s, potentially the 1980s, if I remember correctly. So again, not that long ago, right? Like, and after World War II, right? Like we closed our last residential school after World War II, which is crazy long time after World War II. Like Canada still is not quite cluing in. Like there is a lot of resistance, and a lot of people are like, well, it wasn't me directly. It's just like, well, it doesn't matter. You're still benefiting from the labor of your ancestors more than anybody else has, right? Because you disproportionately oppressed other people to the point where they will have a very difficult time, if any possibility of catching up, because that oppression is so ongoing today with your denial of the entire situation kind of a thing. But anyway,
the Nazis. So we're the good guys by definition, and they're the bad guys. And this is how the world works. This is how the whole paradigm works. Meanwhile, if you happen to be someone who's been living in the global south, that might be a very different reality for you for fucking decade after decade after decade. I mean, we're living through a period right now where the United States is actively bombing Venezuela, kidnapping their president, hosting their president illegally as a prisoner in the United States. That's happening right now, not decades ago, not generations ago. So yeah, this shit is active and still happening. And this was a man who was at the front lines of that. Not only a man who was at the front lines, but he was actively at the front lines and then returning, bragging online about going on fucking killing tours. So he was a monster from the very start. A monster who, yes, was also filled with a whole bunch of shit. There's such a huge difference and such a huge gap. Like, why throw all your chips into this corner when there are people who want to change and people who actively have been working on changing? Just because you come from a horrifying past or you were a racist or something like that, does that disqualify you from public life? No. Being a racist in the past, we're all racists. We're all unpacking this shit.
True. Yeah. I mean, like, at least for a little while until we unlearn it, right? Or we realize, or we learn like certain things that are racist that we might have like committed or believed in our own brain if we didn't even say it out loud. Just because you don't say it out loud doesn't mean you don't hold beliefs that can be racist. And just because you think you are cured of all your racism, I hate to break it to you, there's definitely people out there that you have no idea exist, and you could be discriminatory against them by accident and not even realize it. So calm the hell down. No one, like when I say no adult is perfect, that's kind of a part of what I mean, right? Like racism is an imperfection, and bigotry and hatred and all this other stuff. It's just like a little bit of an imperfection, and it's mostly driven by undue fear. So yeah.
Like every single fucking day.
Oopsie, sorry guys.
Right, that in and of itself, like I also felt that the shitty part about this was this almost like juvenile condescension that was coming from other people who wanted to defend Graham Platner, where it would be like, oh, you don't understand, like, come on, grow up, all right? He yes, he used to say some really racist shit, black people don't tip, and maybe certain parts of the genocide of Native Americans was justified or things like that, right? But he's recognized that those were fucked up things to say, and he's
like, see, that I said this like last stream is like, I can understand people not knowing absolutely everything, and I felt like that was one of the reasons why Graham Platner had not dropped out, because he wanted to see how big this scandal got and how much it affected his numbers before he decided to drop out. Because I'm pretty sure that if he was still doing well in the numbers or close to well, he would not have like claimed that he was going to drop out. Again, as far as I'm aware, up at this point in time, he hasn't filed his paperwork, but I've also been streaming, so I haven't had the opportunity to check. So maybe we'll check later on in the video.
He's grown. If that was it, this is such a different discussion. We're talking about a man, by all measures, in other contexts, who would be viewed as a serial killer. A man who, like, bragged about pissing on corpses. I'm not making that up. That is an actual headline, that he bragged about pissing on dead fucking people that had died at the hands of American imperialism.
That's disgusting.
The reason why this was so damaging and effective, and why I keep bringing this up, like, it doesn't even matter that he's not a fucking CIA plant, but if he was, here's a really good trajectory, is you put a person in a position where people on the other side, everyone gets to moralize, right? If you're on the other side of this, if you're a pro Platner supporter, well, then you can easily just stand there and be like, so sorry, do you support Susan Collins? No, I don't. She's also a monster. Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this person has, I'm not going to say a good past, Certainly, let's just say colorful. But as a result of that, he learned the errors of his ways, and he has come back, and now he's willing to.
Does he have to commit every single crime, though? Does he have to commit every single crime? Drunk driving, allegedly, like a rapist, murdered people, admittedly, and enjoyed it. Racism, although racism by and large isn't a crime. But like, how many lines do you need to cross and practice first before, even just hearing about it might be like, not the best idea to commit these things. Maybe not the best idea to do these things, right? Like, because it's not another person's responsibility to like wear clothing that doesn't entice you. It's your responsibility not to be enticed, kind of thing. Like you gotta control yourself, not the other person. Like if somebody is blackout drunk, that's not like their fault that you then decide to violate them, right? Like I just don't know what to say to that, really. Like I don't know how to comfort people when they like. It feels very straightforward here.
Destroy this very same machine that created him. So isn't that wonderful? Well, if you have engaged in crimes against humanity or done things the likes of which you'll never be able to truly undo the horrors of, do you need to become a lawmaker? If you were not just a racist, but you were a racist who was killing people in a racist imperial war, do you need to become a senator? Can you work for an organization like Life After Hate? Could you work for an organization like Veterans for Peace? Could you use your platform and voice to be able to come forward and say, hey, by the way, this was some really fucked up shit I did in the past, and now I can come forward and
again, you could have had a fucking podcast, man. Could have had a podcast and potentially done better work than what you've done now. Like I don't know what to say. Like I don't know. Ugh. Let's hope he doesn't become a Republican. Like, just be like, take the mask off and be like, I'm going to run for a Republican senator.
Not only admit to it and know that I'll never be able to fully absolve myself, but teach others and try to discourage people from joining this war machine and this killing machine. Then would anybody be talking about him? Would we be discussing about him? Because being a politician, especially a politician on this stage, especially the politician who apparently was the one that was just going to break the balance and give Democrats control again, while all of a sudden we have to just keep on making asterisks. You can keep on affixing them to the situation. Like, hey, gotta add an asterisk to this. Yeah, sure, he may have been a mercenary. He wasn't a mercenary for Blackwater. People, fucking honestly, so many lunatic communist emojis online think they're doing praxis or something by pointing out that he was a merc. He wasn't a Blackwater merc, all right? And people saying that he worked for Blackwater, he didn't. Okay, right? But he was a mercenary that chose to become a mercenary to go to Afghanistan once again in an illegal occupying invasional war to work for a mercenary company that eventually became Blackwater. What are we doing here? Why are we doing this? Why are progressives arguing with progressives? Why are people condescending to one another? Why are you talking down to someone else? What's going on? Again, he's not a plant, but he might as well have been if it's that fucking easy to have a whole bunch of people whom a lot of people, thousands, may trust with their, reporting, coverage, and opinions, to suddenly have someone being presented repeatedly where there are legitimate concerns. And this also gives centrists, Zionists, imperialists lots of ammunition, lots of fucking ammo. The harder you went for this monster with the fucking laundry list and the skeletons that he had, imagine what they can do now looking back and trying to discredit.
I remember somebody saying, if you don't fall in line behind Graham Platner, then you have something in common with Israel. And it was just kind of like, what the fuck, man? What is that even? That's such a weak straw man argument in and of itself, because if you dislike Nazis, you have something in common with Israel also. So what does that say about you? This person just keeps on skirting responsibility, especially given they defended his disbelief of his claim that he did not know what his Nazi tattoo was, because he went and took his shirt off at a Jewish wedding, he has Jewish relatives and stuff like that. And it's just I don't think that really matters. Like, there can be racist people that will still, like, like, there are multiple ways in which you can be racist towards people, and it's not necessarily hating absolutely everyone, right? Like, you can make exceptions for the good ones, the quote unquote good ones, right? So for all we know, Graham Platner looked at his, the people in his life who fit this category as exceptions to his rule, kind of a thing, because that's a common occurrence with racists and bigots, and how people who claim to be anti-LGBTQ end up being like loving trans women most of the time, or being interested in trans men. It's just like secretly self-hate kind of a thing coming forward, but like obviously not in this situation. But like, yeah, and it's just like this whole excuse of, oh, he was in front of like Jewish people and none of them told him. Well, we don't actually know that because we've never heard from any of them, right?
Candidate coming forward, people who do have good intentions, people who have done important work, especially like candidates who don't have white privilege. We gotta add that one, right? Because the whole ride or die movement has never been as aggressive in regards to defending someone like Rashida Tlaib. Yeah, I haven't seen that. I hope people go and support.
Yeah, I said this before. Like, if Graham Platner, if Zoran Mamdani had even like one of a comparative scandals to Graham Platner, he would have been out of the running, like with just like one of his scandals. And that would have been enough to like trounce him and like defeat his chances of becoming mayor. I think one of his biggest scandals wasn't even his own. It was like his wife liked like certain art for like a book, and she like, it's claimed that the caption of it was in support of like something to do with being anti-Israel and stuff like that. And it's just like, okay, I don't care. That's a nothing burger to me. That's like a nothing burger. She wasn't being anti-Semitic. She was just being anti-Israel at most. And most likely she just liked the artwork of this children's book, I think it was. But yeah, if Zoran Mamdani had any of the scandals close to that of Graham Platner, he never would have been in the running. He immediately would have been cut out. That would have been it. They would have moved on to the next newest person that they could find, whether or not that person would have been good or not. Like, it didn't really matter. Zoran Mamdani would have definitely been out.
Abdul El-Sayed. I hope that is the thing that happens. But are people, doing this whole basically like, if you criticize him, you've criticized me personally, or taking it to that degree, or talking about it? Like, this guy was so monstrous and got so much leeway, where it's like, do you think that is a legitimate concern that a person who had 4 tours of duty, meaning 3 of them were voluntary, and then returned as a mercenary again in illegal occupying war, and boasted about killing people, was a fucking machine gunner, was a guard for one of the most notorious torture camps of that entire fucking occupation, I might add. So there's like, it'd be one thing if you were like, it's really bad that he was, working in an office administrative capacity for an imperial war that the United States was doing. Luckily, he didn't kill anyone. He wasn't in combat. He didn't engage in torture. He didn't kick in civilians' homes and point guns at mothers' faces while children were ripped from their arms, possibly to be assaulted. We're not sure. All that kind of stuff. No. He was behind the scenes. And honestly, we need to also acknowledge things, all right? Like the way that the military recruits in the United States, it's a poverty draft, all that kind of stuff. Look, I am here for that. I'm here for rehabilitation. I'm here for people being like, hey, I for whatever reason was brought into the situation. I realized it was fucked up. I stopped serving. I am now working for Veterans for Peace. I'm working for, food, not bombs. I'm doing activism. I'm not the person who's like, oh, well, just by virtue of the fact that you at any point signed up to be a recruit means that you are forever a lost soul and you need to burn in the fires of hell. I've never been that person, but there's such a huge gap between that and this, like a man you can actually point towards as a monster that people in other countries rightfully and justifiably would be like, that is Satan, that man, that sociopathic serial killer who came over here to fucking murder children in a war we didn't ask for.
And then bragged about it from his place of safety after he had gotten out. Bragged about how much fun that like he had. Like, that's abhorrent. What the hell?
where we were being occupied by you. You came into our country. You landed here. You fucking broke into our homes.
Because what do you think the chances are that he had a 100% success rate in accurately targeting people, right? And like how, like, even though like there's allegations that he bragged about targeting civilians and hurting civilians, I haven't seen those yet, so it's just like a rumor, essentially, in my opinion, so far, because I haven't seen any of it. I don't know how I keep on pausing the video whenever he has his eyes closed, but...
Kicked in our doors and shot our kids in the face. We had to sit there for years without any help, without anyone coming to save us, without fucking some other army being like, yeah, this is wrong what you're doing here, doing it for oil, that's fucked up, we're gonna stop you. No, we had to sit back and die for fucking years while this monster was one of the people.
Yeah, because even if you are a civilian, if you have a weapon, even if it's meant to protect yourself, it like the U.S. Army behaves like police officers, right? You don't get to defend yourself. Only we get to kill you. You don't get to kill us back or try to like dissuade us from killing you, because then we have justification to kill you because you're defending yourself and putting our lives in risk is the logic there. And if you can't understand how ridiculous that is, it's the most ridiculous thing ever. Like, qualified immunity is insane. And that's the way that the army seems to behave and like move itself forward.
Shooting us at like on a daily basis. So no, we're not here to turn the other cheek and to be forgiving of that. All that baggage was like front loaded with this piece of shit. And everything I've said so far, this is before we get to the accusations, before we get to, oh, and by the way, domestically here in America, he was also a monster. Seems like he was a monster everywhere he fucking went.
Oopsies.
And this is not an example before anyone's like, well, what about PTSD? We have to talk about, you know.
Oh, I realized I did not have my camera on. So sorry, guys.
How terrible veterans affairs are. That's not this
conversation.
Actually,
I'm going to disappear for just a short bit longer because I'm going to grab a drink. I'll be right back.
For people who might deserve it, not this man. Again, that kept being the theme. Like, why him? Why are we doing this right now? Why are people fighting over this piece of shit when it's not going to get better? If this is the stuff that is coming out right now, and like the stories themselves, prior to the story that just leaked yesterday, by the way, the story of sexual assault, he had other stories that came out prior to that of very fucked up behavior that a lot of people were running to try and defend him for. Being like, fucking Graham Platner could sext my mom and I wouldn't care. Shit like that.
No.
Where it's like, the stuff in there was fucked up though, right? Him like not understanding consent or boundaries, going into people's homes, like just breaking into them essentially. Like, even if a door is unlocked, you don't just walk into someone's house.
Yes,
someone
thank you.
Who would later accuse you of sexual assault. Like, this shit should be fucking...
Even if you have...
Excuse me, just a second. At the very least, pause. Not like I would hope.
Like, I can't share a story, but like, even if you have somebody's key, it's still appropriate to ask if you have permission to go over to their place, right? Like, you can't just go over to their place.
It was disqualifying, but it should be giving you fucking pause. And for a lot of people, it wasn't giving them pause. It was just like more ammunition to be like, you know what's more important than this? His policies, so fuck you. Mm-hmm. And take that energy and apply that.
We need
to the
this stance. Like, we need this. We need him. We're so desperate that we need him. We need him on our side. We can't do this without him, kind of a thing. Right? Like, that's something else that I did hear from a lot of people. He's exactly what we need. He's saying all the right things. And it's just like, I understand he's saying the right things, but he's exhibited relentlessly throughout the entirety of his life that he doesn't know how to actually do the right thing. Right? And he has bragged about doing awful fucking things, like, in between doing those awful things until he got tired of it and decided, nah, I think I'm good on this now. Maybe it's like, maybe it's not the hottest move in the world, right? Like, despite the fact that he went back 5 times and like this claim that he didn't know what else to do, it's just like, go to a jobs fair or something. Like, I don't know. Google, what do you do after you leave the army? It's not like he didn't live in the time of internet like we do when he was making these decisions, right? Like, go back to fucking school. It's not like you don't have money now unless you somehow, like, ran through it. Like, I don't know how you could. But like that, even then, like you could get support from your family, which you did, and you used to open a different business, right? Like, I don't know. Like you didn't even take time to try to consider it, seems like, because you went back so frequently. And you, like, even in between, like he took breaks, so it wasn't like it was back to back to back. He took time in between, so he was doing other things in between tours, and I'd be interested, like I would have been interested to know what those were, but like now I just don't give a shit.
Anti-imperial,
sorry,
anti-Zionist DSA candidates who are running for a variety of different positions who are also not rapists. Because I also saw that, like, Michael Tracy, the world's like biggest fucking rapist or pedophile defender now, allegedly unpaid, by the way. This is just him doing it for the fucking love of the weirdo game. But yeah, he's one of the people now, and him and white supremacist Richard Hanania, who are obviously just like, this is fucked up.
Oops. Sorry,
can you believe it? This one woman has an accusation that she doesn't fully remember. How do we know that she didn't rape him? She says that like he didn't. He had questionable consent and stuff like that. That's enough now to destroy a man's career. We're just going on that, right? Like now that everyone, hopefully, like you know, the moment and it's happened, and there is no one within any kind of capacity in a progressive or left wing space who's now willing to keep defending him.
For people who are like that, I want you to think to yourself, how would you come forward? Like, what would you do if you wanted to come forward and tell your story? Do you honestly believe that it would just be so easy to tell whoever the story? Like, just dump that information out there to people? Like, no, it takes a lot. And, like, having to do it publicly in front of literally the entire nation and the entire planet, because more than just the United States is paying attention to your guys' race, because we don't really have a choice. We live on this planet with you, and if you fuck it up bad enough for not just yourselves, but everybody else, well, then the entire species kind of goes extinct. And we're trying to avoid that despite your guys' best efforts to, like, march down that, like, Nazi path for some fucking reason lately. Like, I just don't get it. There was always alternatives. And, you know, one of the broadcasts that I was watching that like, and I watched a few that said the same things. It's just like, they just admitted to not even knowing who an alternate could be. And it was just like, okay, this feels like this confirms my original suspicion that Graham Platner just came in and he was the shiny new thing. He had charisma. He was charming. He had lots going for him. And like, that was it. They were hooked. They fell in love and they were like, no, this is the guy no matter what. And I don't know if it was sunk cost fallacy that kept people going back or not, but it's something to pay attention to because you don't want to repeat in the future. And that's not to say that like, we behave the same way of if a singular scandal comes out, we throw away the candidate. It really should be scandal dependent. But like, if you want to claim to be an ally, then you got to adjust your red flags to your red lines a lot sooner, because it does feel like a bit of a betrayal almost with the way that some people have behaved while also claiming to be allies and things of that nature. And then the lack of accountability that they're willing to take for their own behavior has been like, not shocking, but just kind of like, okay, this feels very par for the course for these kinds of people to like do some shit ass bullshit and then avoid accountability for their own fucking behavior. Like, and it's just kind of like, okay, well, maybe I see some parallels here, like as to why there might have been such an allegiance to this person. But yeah, I don't know. It was kind of weird, but I guess I'm not really all that surprised, unfortunately.
Outside of, you know, the weirdos, monsters, and like I said, the straight up, like, what the fuck do you even qualify Richard Hanania as? The white supremacist who liberals seem to be like, well, he's our guy now. Maybe that. I don't know if that's it. But there's a lot of candidates who are offering a lot of the things that you would be getting with a Graham Platner without any of the war crimes, without any of the rape accusations, all this kind of shit. Another situation where, yes, this is Not in any way, to be honest with you, shocking news in the sense that, like, there weren't warning signs with this guy. There wasn't a fucking endless, again, laundry list of crimes of the highest order. Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's something else. For me, it's weird how people are like, murder isn't a full red line. Like, you can recover from murder, but not from other things. I'm just like, what the fuck? Why can't it be both? Why you gotta pick one? Like, it's so strange to me.
I'll say one thing, because I do notice something that people were saying to me yesterday, and I think people are also saying in the chat right now. I'm not here to gloat or be like I was right, or cast stones, because who the fuck am I? I have been categorically wrong about people on the internet. If you look at the 6 or so years I've been doing this professionally, I have been, without question, if you talk,
I've been categorically wrong about people in my life a whole shit ton. Are you kidding me? I had that people can change bullshit like for quite some time, and that's true, but you need to actually be able to examine a person objectively while deciding if they have or have not changed. And we had there were some things that could be considered red flags, but there are other things that definitely should have been red lines, and they weren't. It should not have taken this much to get Grant Platner out.
About like controversies involving Lance of the Serfs on the wrong side of reading a person and the things they've done, specifically in a lot of cases because other people I respected, colleagues, other people who are in the same space, were telling me information in the opposite direction. I can give you 2 very clear examples of this. Bo of the Fifth Column, who some people might not even remember because I don't know if he even has a channel anymore. It might be like his wife has taken over after him, but he was like, really front-facing and presenting himself as kind of like almost like a liberal, but much more leftist, maybe an anarchist who, behind the scenes was able of having a dialect and a way of speaking that was appealing to people who normally wouldn't be introduced to those kind of concepts. And so he was really good at deprogramming extremists online and all this kind of stuff. And then stories came out and people started reporting on it, including Mike from PA.
I don't know what the stories are. I'm so sorry. I have no commentary on this.
On the fact that he may have been involved in human trafficking.
Oh,
and the defense
that's a little different. That's a little different.
Including from myself, because I had actually had Bo of the Fifth Column on my show before, was that people were telling me, and don't worry if you're watching this right now, like, oh my God, Lance is about to expose you. I don't leak DMs or stuff from people unless they're lying about me or they posted the something already. Like I protect my sources, so I'm not going to just drop a bunch of names. But people whom I respect and work with were telling me that this is not true. To not listen to people who were talking about it. That he was doing something. I don't even remember what the word was. It was like wolf, like something about how you are honorably trying to get people out of horrifying war zones or atrocities by bringing them into another country, even if through dubious means. You're essentially trying to like sneak immigrants into your country to get them out of a very bad place, was the way that it was being sold. Well, it turns out that was a lie. It turns out that he was a fucking monster and had no place being in leftist spaces. And then and now I sincerely apologize for ever not believing what was obviously clearly evidence presented towards a lot of people, myself included, that we should have paid closer attention to. This is great
accountability.
That's bad. That's a fuck up. I have a platform. I have to do better. The same thing applies to Illuminati, a figure who had abused and taken advantage of most of the people that she'd worked with, and she was feeding me, contradictory information and evidence. And because I didn't have a working relationship with those other people at the time, thankfully I do now, and thankfully a lot of them have accepted my apologies, and I now have a lovely friendship and working relationship with one topic at a time. But back then, I was the person who brought Illuminati into the leftist mafia. I am the person who needs to sincerely apologize for that, because at the end of the day, that is a fuck up. And it's one of those things where, based on that, I was telling people that, this is, it's not acceptable to be like, well, it's not your fault, Lance. You didn't do any of the things that those people did. Well, you're still like co-signing or amplifying them or their behavior if you help them get away with it, or if you help downplay the severity of it.
Or if you downplay your own involvement of doing so to your audience, that's pretty fucked up. Like, I watched somebody, I think it was yesterday, expertly maneuver around accountability for how they handled the Graham Platner tattoo excuse kind of a thing. They just completely, brushed it off by pretending to focus on something else and, quote unquote forgetting that they were mentioning this, despite the fact that they'd have to click off of it before they can like continue on with their talking and stuff of that nature about certain things, etc. And it was just kind of like, okay, this is who this person is. But like, these are the things that you're supposed to pay attention to with people because they're indicative of how they behave with things. This complete lack of accountability from this person it's really impressive, like how they're maneuvering around being like, yeah, I made a mistake, right? And the fact that they think like calling out and holding accountable their white counterparts for doing pretty much the same shit that they were doing is somehow throwing them under the bus rather than just like holding people accountable. Like, what's wrong with holding people accountable now? Like, isn't that what we're trying to do with Graham Platner, with not letting him continue on to important positions of power because he's demonstrated that he cannot handle those situations because he's clearly not changed as a person, which is what you were like warned about for like months and months in advance before this ever came out, with like compounding evidence to just how much of a monster he was, and it was just ignored all the warning signs, ignored all the people calling like them like not just warning signs, but like, you know, if you continue forward, it's going to be bad. And then unfortunately we ended up being right. Hello, welcome in, Scar DB. How are you? Welcome in. Do you like Lance's bisexual lighting that he has behind him? It's one of my favorite features of his videos, I've got to be honest. Also, if you feel like chatting and not just lurking, which is totally fine if you want to lurk, let us know if you're also a streamer, because I'll give you a shout out and stuff like that. But welcome in. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you're enjoying this. There is a link to the video that we're watching, as well as the Surfs Times Twitch channel, in the chat if you want to scroll up and watch it from the beginning at some point. But this is Lance, and he is going over Graham Platner. I like you laying down the truth on Platner more. Oh my gosh. I'm hoping that after this, we don't have to talk about Platner anymore. I'm honestly really sick of it. I've had my fill of it, but war criminal monster Graham Platner is finished. And Lance is just talking about it. We're going through his video. I don't know if we'll have time to finish the entire video because I want to get to Meccha Chameleon later, but because we also have some other stories that I thought were interesting and fun to cover, because we have the Jeremy Renner app, which is such a weird rabbit hole, but we'll get to it. Sounds good? Thank you. Okay, let's keep going.
It's not something that you can just discount. This is one of the reasons why I've said that you should hold content creators accountable, even if they are 100%. Honest, we are entertainers.
I like your massive chair. Me too. The only problem is that, like, skin-wise, I literally, like, blend in with the chair. I'm, like, the same color as the chair. And I'm like, I need to reupholster this thing. But, like, I think that I have to wait until I can, like, if I ever can afford to get it redone. Because it's just too much work for me as an individual to do on my own. Like, this thing is massive. It would take me, like, a couple of weeks to get done. I'm jealous. I bought a $500 one recently from Secret Labs, and it's awful. Aw, so uncomfortable. That sucks. This thing is so freaking comfortable. I take naps in it sometimes, like just curl up in the little this alcove here and just nap all day. I should have got one like yours. Yes, I got this thing for $40 too. I literally got this thing for $40 off Craigslist. Isn't that amazing? Oh my god, I know. It was like, I couldn't freaking believe it. It was great find. I'm so excited. I hope that I someday get to reupholster it. I'm thinking of like doing black fabric on the inside, and then I have some black fake fur that could go on the outside. I thought that would look nice, and then maybe bleaching the wood part to be like, you know, a whiter wood tone, or a lighter wood tone than it currently is. I thought that might look pretty cool. Or I have like this cow print fake fur that I could wrap the chair in, because I have enough, and I think that would be excellent for it too. That would be cool. I like that idea, with silver instead of gold highlights. I don't know. Maybe I'm being too nerdy with it. Anyways, let's get back to this video. Welcome in, Scar.
I've said that all the time. I'm an entertainer. I'm not a revolutionary vanguard. You're not donating to communism when you subscribe to my stream or something like that. That's not what the fuck this is. But you do have a responsibility. It doesn't absolve you of responsibility. It's like saying that you're a comedian, but if your jokes are racist, that you aren't a racist person. Like, no, being a comedian doesn't absolve you of your racism. Being an entertainer and even a comedian.
Yeah. I always say, just because you tell a joke doesn't mean that it's funny. And if people are laughing, you should check who your audience is, because that's representative of who you are, right? Like, it's representative of what your jokes are, right? Like, so if you're getting Nazis to laugh all the time and everybody else who are affected by Nazis are kind of like, hey, yo, this ain't that cool because X, Y, and Z, this is what makes it a problem. Enough whining about my chair. Okay, just a second. Let's do. What did you say? I got tricked by comments on Reddit. Oh, I'm 6'3", a 6'3" guy, and was looking for something really sturdy and saw a bunch of Reddit comments praising Secret Lab chairs. Oh, that sucks. I think they might have been bought or bots. Yeah, possibly. LOL. It's so bad for tall people. Oh no, the top of the back pokes forward. Oh god, so it's impossible to have my head not crane forward. So you're like this all the fucking time. What the hell is that? Is it the one of those like stupid bubble fucking chairs at the top, and it's like supposed to be supportive, and it's really freaking annoying instead? Pretty much, yeah, that sucks. Enough with whining about my chair. Yeah, this thing's excellent. You might be able to find stuff on one on Craigslist also, like something similar. There are some pretty beautiful big ass chairs out there. They're just really heavy, so you need multiple people to move them. I was really, really lucky. Like, they helped me move in everything all for $40. I was like, this is crazy. What a find. This is probably like, the coolest thing that I've owned as a person. I love it. It's a lame-ass gamer chair type thing, yeah. It came with a cushion for the neck, but because the top is already peeking forward, using the cushion just adds to the problem, so you're just like this the entire fucking time. How ridiculous. Smaller, shorter, so it's like, is it at your neck instead? Like, and then you just keep going forward if you add the pillow? Ridiculous. If you were a foot shorter, I get it. It's right into the back of my skull. If I add the pillow, yeah. How long ago did you get this chair? What if you find something like this for like $100? Just replace it. You can't, like, you could find like caster wheels if you wanted to turn it into a fucking gaming chair. Because the bottom of the feet of these are very, very flat. So you could use that like as a support and then caster around your massive chair. I found out that they charge a ton to send stuff back, and I couldn't be bothered with all the hassle, so I just decided to have a crane for neck forward. Well, sunk cost fallacy? Yeah, 100%. We were talking about that earlier, sunk cost fallacy. Oh my god, that's hilarious. That sucks. How long ago did you get it, though? Is it justifiable to be like, maybe new time for a new chair because I've used this for so long that I officially have a permanent crick in my neck that maybe if I start to undo it now with a comfy-ass chair that I can lean back with, that it'll feel better, kind of a thing? No, it's been like 2 months max? LOL. Okay, yeah, that's definitely too soon. You can start looking and fantasizing. That's what I do sometimes, because I want to get a couch in a bit of a different setup, so it won't be chair forever. It'll be from a desktop eventually. Okay, let's get back to this video, because I was trying to make this just 2 hours, and it's been an hour and 15 minutes already.
Spaces doesn't absolve you of your clear
this is Lance, by the
errors in judgment.
Of the Surf
and
Times.
In this case, there was a lot of people who made sincere errors in judgment when it came to the case of Graham Platner.
Yes.
Where we go forward from here is what's fucking important. Like, that is the
Do you know about Graham Platner?
So crucial, because at the end of the day, this is going to happen again.
Yeah, I remember Lance. Haven't watched him for a good while though. Go and check him out. His link is up in the chat a little bit. I should have pinned it. Fuck. Oh well.
Going to be other people who are going to be presented or trying to enter left-wing spaces or try to become politicians.
Does he still stream on Twitch? Yeah. Let me see if I actually I can do this. Hmm? There we go. There, that's his channel. Go give him a follow if you aren't already. Check him out. I don't think he's streaming right now, though.
Petitions
Oopsies.
that people are going to want to galvanize around, and we have to be able to both listen to people in the global south who are
I think we checked his channel because I hadn't seen his stream pop up in my list like lately either, and I'm just like, has he disappeared? Because I haven't seen him in a long time like pop up in my list. So I went to go and check, and he streamed recently. It looked like, I don't know. I think that he duo streams on YouTube also at the same time. I don't know which chat that he pays attention to. It might be the YouTube channel, like YouTube chat. I don't know if the modernization there is better or not, but like, yeah, he I think he pays attention to chat a little bit, but he definitely goes on long talks. I can't remember why I stopped. I think it's when I found out that his channel wasn't just him, but for like multiple people or something. Maybe I'm misremembering. Yeah, but that's always been the thing. You didn't know that? That's why it's called the Surf's Times. Multiple. I'm pretty sure. And then there's the Surf Mafia, I think it is. I can't remember their name, but they have like this group chat. Let's see if he has it. Search times, resources, involvement, leftist activism, full length video essay, the Surf TV on YouTube, cover art by Kyle G. It's me, Kyle G. Okay. We broadcast live 5 days a week on Twitch, the Surf's TV, Twitch, Blue Sky, Twitter, Instagram, Discord, Reddit, OG website, Patreon merch. Oh, I guess they don't have it. Leftist Mafia. That's what it was. Yeah, I only watched for a few weeks. God knows how long ago. Like 5 years or something. Oh, you should give him a rewatch. He's a good streamer, and he's very informative and has like varying opinions on stuff that it's interesting to listen to and consider, even if you don't end up agreeing with them. I suggest giving him a look through. Plus, he has great bisexual lighting. Look at this. Beautiful. Very nice. 10 out of 10. Lovely. There we go. It's not like trying to kiss you. Ugh. Not ugh, but like not doing that. Sorry. I promise I'll check it out again. Yeah, go check him out. See what he's about. I think you'll enjoy it. He's pretty chill.
Exploited in this.
I don't think that I've ever heard him have an outburst, which is impressive because I have like so many. Just go on long, angry rants sometimes about stuff. I try to keep it as chill and constructive as possible, but sometimes I just go off on people. Are the other streamers on the channel good too? Yeah, I like them. They had Laverne Cox on recently, and that was fun to watch. They often have great guests on Leftist Mafia. I love angry rants. I live for angry rants. Oh God. Well, you're sure to hear one of mine. I don't know when the next time I'm gonna have one is, but we'll see what goes on. I don't know. I try to keep it to a minimum. I swear a lot also, so if you have sensitive ears, be forewarned that I swear a lot.
Destroyed by Canadian mining companies, or by American imperialism and bombs, or by European weapons manufacturers, who are the ones who are selling the exact items that are being used to blow up their children. We do have to listen and account for people in the global south if we consider ourselves to be internationalists or humanists, and that aspect is so important. And if we happen to have a whole bunch of like, I know a lot of people are saying right now that, myself and I think a handful of other people, like there's very, very few people who are white who actually were against Platner from the start and never wavered in that, despite the fact that, like,
thank you so much for the subscription. I'm glad that I managed to convince you. I don't run ads, so you don't necessarily need to subscribe. I think I need to put that somewhere. I think that I used to, but I don't run ads. So if in the future you're like, yeah, I just want to hang out, you're totally welcome to. But I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Welcome to the community.
And right now people are starting to say, like, hey, Lance, that's you. Well, yeah, I am white. Make no mistake. I'm not here to be like, oh, your color screen, your tint is off. I'm also Métis. My mother is Indigenous, and this is like, if you watch my streams, you probably notice, and people have asked me before, why do you say those things at the very start of your streams? Every single live stream that I do, I'm usually like, Tanchi, everybody. That's Machif, which is the Métis language for it's a greeting. Hello, how are you? Chanchi. And then I'll say something like Lance Dishinikashun. That's my name is Lance in Machif. That's it's a language that like many indigenous languages would be on the verge of going extinct if it wasn't for people trying to constantly resurrect it and use it and amplify it. That's one of the reasons why I do.
There's a great program by what's its name? Who's on Schitt's Creek? Fuck, I'm so sorry, I forgot your name. But there's a great program that teaches native language. I'll see if I can find it. I recently started watching Twitch again after taking a break for like 5 months. About time I used my Prime sub. Thanks. I've been reading interactive fiction loads instead. Oh yeah, what's your favorite one? Why'd you decide to take a break? Were you just like, I'm getting too into this and I need to like relax a little bit and stuff like that? Or did you just want to like touch base with like your old hobbies and stuff? Let me know why.
Do that at the start of every stream, and then sometimes we'll tell people like, hey, by the way, I'm learning a new word, I'm trying to figure out how to form this sentence. A lot of it also overlaps with French, which makes parts of it easy. Merci is French for thank you, Marcy is Machif for thank you, right? Little things like that. But the reason I just bring that up is that unlike maybe some other people, I have to tell individuals that I'm half indigenous. I have to tell them that. I have to tell them that I'm Métis. I have to explain to them what Métis is. It's like, if you want to look at we were the half breed.
There's also lots of prejudice because they're considered like mixed race, like on both sides. Like some people don't even believe in the existence of Métis, which is kind of strange to me. And I've heard it from like both like camps of the thing, both from Native people as well as from Caucasian people. So because there are some like Native people who are like, unless you're 100% Native, you're not Native at all. Like if you're mixed race at all, then you're not Native, you're something else, you're like some third race. And like people believe that we should create, like if you're mixed race, we should all just create some like third race as if we're some sort of like homogenous thing. People just want like simple answers sometimes, and don't think that like because somebody is a person of color that they're exempt from like having these types of biases and these types of like bigotries instilled within their beliefs and stuff like that. So, just always keep that in mind. Like Lance definitely probably experiences some levels of racism throughout his life, despite the fact that he's Caucasian. He's also half Native, in my personal opinion, and I'm sure his own also, as he's expressed, like he feels very connected to his Métis side, which is good. I don't see anything wrong with that personally. Like, fine, valid as a mixed race person, and so too is he, right? Like, it's very, very strange to me that somehow, if you're not 100% one thing in somebody's mind, you're somehow invalid as a person and your existence is invalid somehow. I don't know. I just remember being astonished by that level of racism from this person. Because I remember like they were saying that like every non like 100% Native person needs to get out of Canada. And I was like, well, what about like African American people? Like we were stolen over to here. He's like, yeah, them too. I'm just like, what the fuck? That doesn't really solve anything. Like it's not going to make things better. If anything, it's just going to cause like the population to likely collapse because the adjustment time to like get things to where they would need to be for the luxuries and like for current times, or to like adjust to have that transition, you need people here to help you. Like it just is. If you were wanting a strictly Native place to live, like I don't have a problem with that either, but like to be racist towards people because they're mixed race is kind of weird to me. Like somehow like Lance would be invalid as a Native person, like as a First Nation person here because he's Métis. This is like, okay, I don't know how to help you on that one. That just seems bizarre to me.
Right, like that red thing line here in my background in my streams, that's my sash, my Métis sash from my sashing ceremony. Those elements of who I am, that is important to who I am, but it also sometimes does shape perspective.
Oops, sorry guys.
Right, and it does like become very, very evident when you have an issue involving someone like Graham Platner, for example. I try to do a lot of what I like in terms of my.
Just a sec. What'd you say? Got too big for my phone screen. Interactive fiction, was completely new to me and captivated me. Ooh, like serious ones at least. Read lots of visual novels in the past, but never like pure text choice. Hosted games, etc. Hard to read with streams on for me. Got autism, ADHD. Maybe that's why. Don't know. That's fair enough. It's like you constantly have your attention being pulled away. Like that's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I love when I can really sink into the worlds. So series with multiple books, werewolves series, Wayhaven Chronicles, Lord of Infinity, Fallen Hero, etc. I feel like I'm waffling about silly stuff over serious stuff, so I'll lock in. It's totally fine. It's okay that we take breaks sometimes. Sorry for the essay, laughing my ass off. It's totally fine. That's fair. I have never heard of any of those series. Which one of them is your favorite?
Coverage or my reporting or my assessments on a public figure, and oftentimes what they've done or where they're trying to lead politics from a anti-colonial lens. And I know, like, when it comes to the Platner situation, and the reason I want to actually go into some of the people's promotion of this man is specifically because they clearly have not unpacked some shit. I'm not telling you this as the one woke, the only woke person, the only white-skinned woke man to ever exist. No one is woke. That's the entire point, right? We're all unpacking this shit all the fucking time. That includes myself. I'm having to deal sometimes with a very unique and strange crossroads of, you know, having been raised by an indigenous mother, being introduced to a lot of indigenous culture, but having such a like white presenting, you know, both genetically outside of the fact that like I'm hairless. And that's one of the things where people like, you know, on the playground, like, where did all your hair go, Lance? Why can't you grow a beard? And people are always asking me why I'm the only person in the leftist mafia without a
What? Oh, poor Lance. Hard to choose. Scar says hard to choose only one, but probably Wayhaven. Before that series, I didn't care about romance at all, and now I can't read ones that don't have romance in it. Aw, that's cute. LOL. It sparked something in me. Cool. That's nice. Now you have a new hobby that you can enjoy, like whenever you like have the spare time to, essentially. That's good. That's something to look forward to. Are you currently in the middle of a book, or are you like waiting for the next book kind of a thing?
Beard. It's because I can't fucking grow one. If honestly, you'll see if you want to see my matey hair come in, because I've done it before. I think once for like a Movember thing, but it's just a little teeny patchwork that comes in here, a little patchwork here, and then a very thin little teeny mustache here. But this is the extent of it. You may notice that there is a little bit of like stubble in this area, but you'll probably notice that this area here, I don't have to shave much. I don't actually have to shave off this part of me because I don't grow a giant bushy beard in this part because, you know, if you look far back enough to like my great grandfather, he was a sharpshooter for Louis Riel. We're talking, you know, Métis royalty in my family line. So that's just a reality sometimes that I have to live with. I'm not saying all of this to be like, hey, by the way, here's my lived experience. I want you all to pay attention. It's that when it came to Graham Platner too, did you notice that a lot of the voices who were early on calling him out happened to be people like Sean the Black, empty signifier, people who were trying to point out, hey, by the way, why does everyone want us to be ride or die for this particular candidate? And
yeah, and like that's the thing is like people were asking like, are there alternatives? And I speculated that I don't think that they even know of an alternative. They just like saw this person presented in front of them, really liked them, and then just ran with it, right? And then through scandal and scandal, they just kept on jumping over those hurdles. Like it didn't actually mean anything. And there's always an excuse as to why it should be like forgiven, right? And then at the point, like even for some people, this still isn't enough to turn like against him or whatever. Yeah, reading one called Stars Artisan, but I binged them so hard the last 5 months that there's barely anything left I'm interested in. It's kind of a small niche thing with not that many high quality titles. Oh, well, maybe they need to like, are you a part of like, what's it called? Book Talk or whatever? And maybe they'll have like, if you put out a video, be like, hey, I'm looking for a recommendation for, you know, romantic novels. Here are the series that I've already read. Do you have like, suggestions outside of that? please let me know. Then you might get a lot of good suggestions that you can get into again. Who knows? Ask them for like a little like long line description of what the story is about, but don't make it a novel itself. It's kind of a small niche thing, not that many high quality titles. I consider writing one of my own, but they're like 4-year projects with minimal payoff for most authors. What? You don't have to, you can make a whole bunch of short stories, release them for like $1, right? Like maybe like 3 to 4 chapters long or something. Like you can work on a whole bunch of anthology series that are short stories that are all romantic. They don't have to be massive novels. One of my favorite book series is called McSweeney. I can't remember who it's by, but like there's just a whole bunch of different weird anthology stories. I love them. They're so good. My favorite one is either the chicken one or the one about people becoming clouds. There might be some other ones, but that's the one I remember. The first one that I ever read was Yuri. It was called Yuri. And anyway, let's get back to it. Okay, more Lance.
I thought the exact same thing. It's like, it's one thing to say, I reluctantly want to, support Graham Platner, even though you don't live in Maine, but still, I'm going to talk about him, because
Oopsie, sorry guys.
Policies. And honestly, his policies are way better than Susan Collins. Susan Collins is a fucking Zionist warmonger. Pretty clear cut, right? That's so different than like, I want to champion this guy. I want to put him up on a pedestal. I want to, show him to.
Just a second. What'd you say? I love being able to choose my own path through the stories, the interactive fiction part. Okay, I see. Rather than being stuck on the rails that author has decided. But I think I need to jump back into regular books simply because there's a billion more of them than interactive fiction. Yeah, I remember Goosebumps did that sometimes, and it was actually really, really fun. You go back and pick a different option or whatever to try to find the best ending. Usually still ended in shit, but whatever. It was fun. I loved Goosebumps as a kid. Yeah, I know. Like, didn't they have a TV show also? I used to think that show was like so scary until I got to adult and I watched it. I was like, what the fuck is this? What other show was there? I remember as a kid, I think, or really young, I watched Ghost Ship. I still love that movie, even though it's trash. I still love that movie. I don't care. It's a good movie. It was entertaining.
Creators and get their opinions on them and invite them onto shows, have them host rallies, have them do speaking events. Have him become your soldier boy, right?
You never watched the show? Oh my god, you should, just for like the purpose of nostalgia to see it. You should watch the show. Maybe we'll have like a night where we watch a little bit of Goosebumps just to get an idea of it. Maybe Monday or something. I'll see if I can find any on YouTube. And hopefully we don't get clapped for it. I'm slowing you down from moving on from Platner. I need to shut up for 10 minutes so we can get him done. LOL. Are you tired of talking about Platner? I don't mind having this conversation in between. I think it's entertaining. I'll try to comment more on his commentary. If we're going to go through the story, we're going to skip this because we already watched it. Okay. Whoopsies. I didn't mean to do that. God damn it. Oh no.
Fully mocking an American soldier, admitting to getting a Nazi-linked skull tattoo while he was
damn it. Sorry, chat.
And gleefully recounting on Reddit.
Now I'm slowing myself down. Stop that. Stupid thing. Oh no. What does your message say? Shit. Let's see. Nah, I'm just glad most of the left are finally accepting he's a piece of shit. Thank you. Right? What was your like, okay, enough of Platner moment? What was your enough of Platner moment? I don't know.
Pushing himself in porta potties. What are some of Democratic Maine Senate candidate Graham Platner's biggest controversies? Here's what you need to know. Democratic Senate hopeful Graham Platner landed himself in hot water again on May 20th, when comments from a burner Reddit account linked to the controversial lefty were recently uncovered by a freelance journalist. In a series of since-deleted posts from his infamous P. Hustler Reddit account, Platner, an oyster farmer and self-styled ardent foe of the billionaire class, reportedly defended a Marine who urinated on a dead Taliban fighter, confessing
Wait, what does
telling
it
the
say?
Marines to, quote, reportedly defended a
I know I didn't switch back to the other video because I found this interesting. Out of curiosity, what would you say to the many Marines and soldiers who took trophies and desecrated bodies while fighting the Japanese? I find the urinating on bodies as a poor choice, but only because the current state of media affairs. What? That doesn't... It's amusing that today killing a man isn't worthy of comment, but God forbid you display dominance? What the fuck does that even mean? Only 50 years ago, and for the rest of the history of the warfare, this stuff was pretty standard. Okay, that's gross. It's one thing for people to get tricked into military work, etc., but to do multiple tours and then do it for profit again afterwards, and to like make Reddit posts bragging about how much fun you did doing it is pretty freaking weird.
Do speaking events.
Sorry, Lance. Yeah, fucked up. Yeah, like, I don't know, man. There was just so much evidence. So much. And like, people were just like, nah, he's our guy. Haha. Because he had momentum. People were like, haha, you're wrong about him. I was like, I fucking hope I am. Hassan pissed me off about them defending him. Yeah, there were moments that Hassan definitely did like give him leeway and stuff like that. Not like a lot, but he was definitely gloaty at points about how successful Graham Platner was doing. Like, I really wish that I was fucking wrong, because I would like Graham Platner to have been the person that he claimed that he was, but he's just not, and continuously has displayed that despite who he claims to be, he is not that person. Of course, yeah. Like, it's just like, okay, dude, but like, he's like, and just avoiding accountability for it and stuff. It's just like, all right, that's who you want to be. Like, I don't really know what to tell you. Like, if you're not willing to grow from this, then you know, you're likely to have it reoccur. And you have apparently spoken to people both publicly and privately about this and still chose to ignore those very serious and accurate warnings. And even posthumously, you're still like downplaying it. So it's like, okay, we want those policies, but that's not justification to be blind to someone being a monster. Yeah, like, and he wasn't just a monster like one time. Like, he didn't do just 2 tours, he did like 5. And tours are between 3 and 9 months. And he went back one time as a mercenary within those 5 times, right? So, and then he, like, in between his tours, he bragged about enjoying his time.
You're a soldier boy.
Enjoying his time, like, killing people, right? Like, it's just crazy. Like, so many things that should have been red lines that were...
Right? That's it?
Not. God damn it. Sorry, Lance. There we go. That's better.
Into my home.
Okay. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to skip this part because we've already been through that.
But said he's considering the...
And there's still people trying to defend him. I know! And that's not even talking about the Nazi shit or the SA shit. I know. Like, I don't know. Whatever. People have weird lines sometimes. Like, you're going to forgive somebody for murdering people, but not for sexually assaulting them? Like, why is murdering somebody a lesser offense? You've literally destroyed them forever. Right? Like, that's what murder is. It's destroying somebody forever.
Next steps for his campaign.
Regardless of the inaccuracy of the reporting, but mindful of the political reality it will inflict, we are taking the time to reflect on the best path forward for the state that I love, the people that I love, the movement I belong to, and the goal of defeating Susan Collins.
In a statement, Senate Democratic leaders Chuck Schumer and Kirsten Gillibrand said Platner should immediately withdraw from the race. Many of Platner's supporters...
I think Bernie Sanders came out asking him to withdraw, and some other people also, but I can't remember who else it was. Zohran Mamdani withdrew, like lots and lots of other people have withdrawn.
Have withdrawn their endorsements, including California Congressmember Ro Khanna and Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth.
Like, any one of those aspects would be a major... Whoopsies. Just a second. Any, Scar says, like any one of those aspects would be a major issue if he was on the center or right. Yet because he was pushing for leftist policies, people were willing to give cover. Yep. It was pretty fucking gross. Yeah, very much so. Right? Like that's the thing. It's like one of the analogies was used that like Graham Platner was a moldy sandwich and they didn't know until they ate it. And it's just like, no, lots of people like could see that the sandwich was moldy, and like we were trying to tell you the sandwich is moldy, but you just could not help yourself. You had to continue eating the sandwich until you got too much mold in your mouth to deny it, kind of a situation. That feels more accurate to the like honesty of the situation, if we're being honest. I expect more. Yeah, me too. I'm disappointed. I can't lie. But like I think like had there been accountability from these people, it would be a little bit different, but there's just such a lack of accountability. It's like, it shouldn't be an I told you so moment. It's like, we're not saying I told you so. We're asking you to actually take us seriously for once when we have these concerns, because these things have a higher potential of affecting us if you're not Caucasian, like his Nazi tattoo, or being like brown in the Middle East and things of that nature. Scar says, I think they knew all along. They were just happy to pretend otherwise until there was too much evidence to give credence to their support. Yeah, I think so too. I don't think many of them were actually blindsided. No, I mean, we all found out, like the vast majority of us found out about the Nazi tattoo around the same time, right? Like we all found out roughly around the same time, if you learned about it at all, because there are probably people out there who haven't consumed as much media on who Graham Platner is, and they might be completely unaware of these allegations because they're not as online as other people, right? And I don't know if it's made it into any print news in Maine, and how many people in Maine who are voters read the newspaper. Like how many people on their timelines, if they get their news online, had this story cover their timeline, because after the first couple of hours, it completely disappeared from mine. And I had to search it by name to get updates and new information on it all the time, because it literally just disappeared from my timeline. I'm like, and I was wondering, I wonder if he's gotten a publicist or somebody to help like squash the story, like if he's put out bots or things like that to do takedown notices or things like that, if that's a possibility. That's fair. Yeah. Thank you. But yeah, it's just like, I don't know. It's kind of crazy. Okay, let's get through this. We'll watch this a little bit more and then we'll move forward.
Party of Maine and other party leaders posted a statement calling on Platner to drop out.
Platner to drop out amidst sexual assault allegations.
But even online, like in Hassan's community, people who knew all the same info, I know. I saw some slightly redeeming posts in there, but like, yeah, there are people who came into his chat and stuff like that from when I was watching, who were also trying to like make claims that it was like a plant and things of that nature, or somebody from Israel being paid to make these accusations and things of that nature. And it's just like, okay. And it's like that. I saw that on Reddit a lot because I would read the comments to see what the way that people were leaning, and it definitely changed per article and per sub and stuff like that, depending upon the subs leaning would be dependent upon how many people were still backing Graham Platner. And then I tried to calculate, I wonder how many of these are actually bots that are in support of Graham Platner, because they're all echoing the same similar like talking points, if not exactly the same, of like, I don't care what he's done, he's better than Susan Collins. It's like, well, he allegedly raped somebody. And if one of your concerns with Susan Collins is the fact that Kavanaugh also allegedly raped somebody, then I don't know what your problem is with Susan Collins, because they're pretty similar in nature, having like, you know, been in support of or been like, you know, a rapist themselves. Like, why is Susan Collins like, I don't get it. What's your problem with Susan Collins if you're like, you know, fine with Graham Platner? Right? Because it was both allegations. So, and you're supporting Graham Platner now. Like, what's your justification for that? When it, like, yeah.
Minority Leader Chuck Schumer and the leadership of Maine Democratic Party urged Senate nominee Graham Platner to drop out of the race Monday after a bombshell political report accusing Platner of sexual assault. Platner insisted the allegation is categorically false, but said his campaign is reflecting on the best path forward. Regardless of the inaccuracy of the reporting, but mindful of the political reality and will inflict, we are taking the time to reflect on the best path forward for the state that I love, the people that I love, the moment that I belong to, and the goal of defeating Susan Collins.
Oopsies, sorry guys. I keep doing that.
Why would I even enter, you know, the race knowing that he had raped someone and had that in his past? and A, he might not think that what he did was sexual assault.
Yeah.
B, sexual assault is far more prevalent and common, I think, than most people realize. And C, a lot of sexual assaulters get away with it.
That's
it
true.
Doesn't even become a thing. Like when Me Too was at its absolute peak, and every other day people were like, Jesus Christ, what? That person, oh God, that person. That was probably a fraction of all the people who had legitimately been abused in their positions of power for years to sleep with or sexually harass subordinates. Right?
Yeah.
Like that was like, and just that small amount of revelation, I guess, because it happened all at once, also triggered a massive backlash from
100% a fraction
creeps on the internet who were just like hashtag not all men, not all men. I agree, but like
a large number of men, a particularly large number of women. And don't get it wrong, there's like women too. Like I've had a woman assailant before. Like when I was a child, it happens and people ignore it all the time. I was complaining about Cenk Uyghur's behavior from in the past when he was being dismissive of male teenager victims who were victims of their teacher. Whenever that type of a story would come up, he would always like be in defense of the rapes, being like, I would be so excited if I was 13 and had a teacher like rape me. And it's just like, what the fuck? Like I hope that he's changed, but then he's also defending Graham Platner, trying to pick apart the allegation, and it just doesn't really match up with like what the facts are and stuff like that. And it's just kind of like, I don't know where they're getting their news, but they're just so like claiming to be distrusting of like legacy media that they think that everything that comes out of legacy media has to be a scam, and they've essentially feel like they've become like some sort of conspiracy group rather than a news reporting organization that I used to view them as, which is really, really unfortunate because I got into politics watching them kind of a thing. Like that was a part of my start into politics, along with a lot of other legacy commentators, if you want to call them that. So I don't know. Maybe they've been on too long. Maybe they need to like take a fucking break and reassess things and get a bit of better grip on reality. But I don't know.
As a man, then you should be mad at the men doing this.
That wasn't even all of their like poor behavior regarding like sexual assault and stuff like that. I remember there was a story where somebody was allegedly tricked into performing sex acts with somebody that they didn't agree to. And they didn't find out because they were blindfolded. And Cenk Uyghur was like, that's not sexual assault because you agreed to the acts. It's like, well, you're not just agreeing to the acts, you're agreeing to the person as well. And I remember thinking that when they were saying that, I'm just like, that's not like, it's still sexual assault. Like it's still SA. Yeah, it's still there's more to. I'm not going to go through all of it, but like that's some of obviously I know there's more, but like that's just some of like their like endorsements of sexual assault and the massive lack of understanding of what it means. And I hope that they've grown, but at the same time, I don't think that they really have. But that's just my opinion.
As a person who has not sexually assaulted anyone, and as a person who has been.
I never watched that much of them. Yeah, I stopped watching them. I can't remember how long ago. It's been more than 5 years at least, though, since I watched them. Sometimes I'll check in every now and again, but I can't stay very long. I don't know. I just get like, I don't know. I just can't do it. I can't stay very long and watch them anymore. I think that I've just lost too much respect for them, unfortunately. And some of their takes have just been so freaking horrendous. And then instead of listening to the concerns of people and listening to the people that are reasonably explaining the situation and trying to do so with like kindness and honesty and stuff like that, they just get defensive and like try to combat like the information that's being presented to them. But what they present doesn't really make any logical sense or doesn't have any grounding in reality kind of a thing. And it's just kind of like, Republican made up bullshit that if you look at it deeper, it's just kind of like, okay, well, here, this disproves that. But then they're just kind of like, no, we prefer this information. So it's like, okay, well, it's out of date and it's wrong. But if you prefer it, it is what it is. I checked them out for a bit after having already watched Hassan for a few years. Yeah, I watched Hassan go from like 50 viewers when he kept going on Trainwreck's podcast with Destiny. That's cool. I think the first time that I saw Hassan was on TYT, and then he disappeared and I had no idea where he was. And then I can't remember what it was that was like, I wonder what he's up to lately. Went and checked out his stream. And then I had to take a break because of like some of his behavior, which he's grown like quite a bit since like I originally started watching him, it's been very interesting to watch him grow as a person, like live on screen. Like, you know, you have the option of watching him basically 7 days a week become like grow into the person that he's become today, and it's pretty interesting. It's been quite an experience watching that. It's impressive how much he's changed over time. I think he's a suit guy now or something like that. He said, I don't know. Good for him. I don't really care. Congratulations. Anyway, let's keep going.
Himself, it's like you see this kind of shit and you're like, yeah, that it makes me angry. I too am mad at abusers. I too am mad at rapists and fucking war fucking monsters like this. A Maine woman, Jenny Rascott, told Politico that Platner entered her home without permission in late 2021 when he was drunk and forced himself on her. She said the two had met on a dating app in 2019 and had consensual relations before the night of the alleged sexual assault. She said she expanded on the allegations in a CNN interview in which she alleged Platner raped her by definition. He violated multiple layers of consent that night by coming into my home when I asked him not to, and by advancing on me when I told him not to, and furthermore, another incident that I told him not to do, she said, referring to his alleged refusal to use protection. Jesus fucking Christ. In that moment, I evaluated my safety. I basically felt safest was just complying. Platner denied the allegations, calling them troubling, serious, and false. Horrifying. Also, it's also really bad that this is the moment I feel when a lot of people are deciding, oh, okay, yeah, no, too much for me. Yeah, I'm out. And that it's like, so you drew the line at this, like, again, what to people in other countries, especially people in the global south, how do you think that makes them feel to look upon this? Like, if you're someone in one of the many nations that is being bombed right now by the US or Israel actively right now, as I'm saying this out.
Scar says, when I stopped, he wasn't doing this suit thing. I still don't know what the fuck that's about. You don't like his suits? What's wrong with his suits? I think he said like lots of them are his dad's or something. That's cute. Why not? It was just a pretty big vibe shift from what all of his fun clothing and his long hair to permanent suit wearing. It was a very hard move, wasn't it? All of a sudden, all the fun shirts and all the fun like clothing is gone. What happened to the party? What happened to that relaxation? Now it's just business all the time. Absolutely no break ever. Maybe occasionally a fun day that usually ends up being depressing news the vast majority of the time. So you don't even get to relax then. Okay, let's keep going.
How are you supposed to read any of this where it's like, don't worry, salvation is coming. We are going to be electing anti-Zionist, anti-imperial, anti-war candidates one by one. And it's like, sorry, the guy who like did his tour of duty as was required by contract, then returned 3 more times, then decided that wasn't enough killing. So he needed to then join a mercenary group to go to Afghanistan to do more occupational fuck-ups. Like, what? That's the guy? Oh,
yep. Well said, Lance. Yeah.
Don't worry, he's changed. He's completely different now. Actually, he's not racist. He's improved his racism, so that's good. You know, we can basically excuse a lot of the horrors because he's changed. He went through PTSD. That's got to be hard.
Racism. He went from hard, like full sugar racism to diet racism. You know. Although he does have a branding of like sugar racism on his chest, like full sugar racism, maybe with a little extra sugar sprinkled in there on top. Maybe that's what the tattoo was. It was just a little extra racism in there. I just didn't feel racist enough without this fucking tattoo on my chest. Like seriously, people actually believe that he didn't know. Come the fuck on. It's like somebody has told him at some point. I feel like that is a reasonable assessment at this point. That's just my opinion, though, so you're welcome to believe otherwise. But yeah, Scar says, "Whoopsies, permanently marketing yourself with your racism." Yeah, exactly. It's just like, oh, you got regular Coke branded on you, despite the fact that you're now claiming to be Diet Coke. Okay, fair enough.
You know, point the finger at.
We're just gonna accept that. Yep. Oh, you're saying that you're finally, now that it's been outed, that you have this branding of the, regular sugar with extra sugar on top, Coke, that you're willing to like remove it. Oh, okay, thanks. Yeah. So you've had this tattoo so long that if it was a human being, it would be an adult plus 2 years. Yeah, but nobody told you. No, not a one.
Him. You should be asking what did he get through or have to go through this entire time. Any accusation on consensual behavior is categorically false, he said in a statement. His campaign called the allegations coached and coordinated by out-of-state establishment operatives. For a year, opponents of this campaign have thrown everything they can at Graham, calling him a Nazi, a war criminal, and a communist. None of this has been true, and this is no different. It is not a coincidence that this story comes for a week. Well, okay, I'm not trying to base this on absolutely nothing.
Crazy that he got away with any of these things for so long. No, it's not. Because, like, the vast majority of people are Caucasian. So, like, they were less affected by his offenses until it got to a point where it had the potential to actually harm somebody that they know, where they like, okay, now we've reached our limit. Like, somebody that they know and care enough about that is their limit. You're right. Yeah, exactly. And then people who claim that they don't understand why people are so upset by supposed allies' behavior in this situation, it just feels like it's more insult to injury kind of a thing, right? I'm just like, okay, but what are we supposed to do? We're literally just trying to communicate to you what the problem is, and everybody is taking it like it's some sort of personal attack rather than like, okay, well, you didn't learn your warning, your lesson, like even now it seems like, because you're denying accountability for your role in this entire situation. But like, you're also like making it so difficult to be like, believe that you're an ally because of your behavior and willingness to be so fucking forgiving of somebody that has displayed such like consistent and regularly poor behavior with nothing really to back up this like positive side that they claim to have. It's all just had been his words and his claims, like in contrast to his actual behavior. Acceptable sacrifices, fucking horrible. Yeah, but the thing is like the acceptable sacrifices are the ones that you already like think of in your own mind. And it's just kind of like, that always seems to go par for the course when it comes to certain allies or people who claim to be allies and things of that nature. Like, if it's been like, a couple years since you've done something prominent in regards to a certain topic, maybe you should reconsider what you actually, like, are you just a supporter or are you an actual ally? Because they're two different things.
Graham Platner.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It sucks. Yeah.
One of the most notorious torture prisons in U.S. history.
Okay.
In a prisoner abuse facility in 2005. Something I'm proud of for my internet history. I spent a lot of time on.
Just gonna say, I'm just gonna check what other stuff we have going on.
I knew that it was literally saving my life. Being honest.
Oh, not that one.
Helps others down the same path.
We're gonna move on from Lance's video because a lot of this we've gone over already. Dems scramble to replace Platner with super delegate scheme. So I thought we would watch this just to see if there's any information on Troy Jackson, who recently came out in support of Palestine. If this isn't very informative or if it's just incredibly biased, then we'll click off of it also. But in case you want to watch it yourself later and finish it, if I do not, I'm just going to link it in the chat quickly. Boop. Doop. Oh, shit. Control V. There we go. Okay. It should be getting to you now. There we go. All right. I don't know who this person is, but this is Breaking Point.
July 10th.
I've never watched them before, I don't think, so I don't know what leaning they have or anything like that.
Emily Jashinsky on my side of the time zone. Doesn't it suck?
Ryan Grimm rode for Platner pretty hard too. He was another person that rode for Platner along with Emma Vigeland.
It's brutal. I was going to say Ryan's outnumbered. We've got 2 California broadcast locations today.
Well, we're about to have another East Coaster join us.
I knew Emma did. Yeah, Ryan Grimm did as well.
You were all the way in California all week. Crystal.
I didn't know Ryan did. Yeah.
Hanging us out to dry with bro shows on quite an awkward week.
What a timing for bro shows. I just want to say,
I don't know what bro shows is.
Show, not my choice. This was not my vision.
I think we did a great job with our coverage.
Completely agree.
Thank you. Yes. So now we have Emily here.
And the coverage continues. So we'll have Trita Parsi on later in the program to talk about the latest.
We're not going to watch all of this if they don't discuss it very much.
Constantly go for the title of the most vindictive and petty country on the planet.
Oh no!
Bombed the rail lines on the way in and out of Meccha, the city where they're holding the funeral for the Ayatollah, of Maine, and we did so on the back of a populist, anti-genocide.
Okay, here we go. Sorry, guys.
And we want
trying to find the start of it.
Decision that had Graham Platner, withholding his resignation. He still hasn't filed his paperwork. He said he's going to do it on Monday. His argument was, we won more votes than any other campaign in the history of Maine, and we did so on the back of a populist, anti-genocide.
Just a second. What'd you say? Scar says, I remember randomly tuning into Majority Report months ago, literally the last one I did because it disgusted me so much. But Emma was going berserk at a viewer for having an issue with Platner's past in terms of the tours and Blackwater. Yeah, which is totally valid to be concerned or be like, that's my red line. It's so weird that, every other content creator that was for Platner, they're allowed to have their red lines, and their red lines are always valid. But if it's something that they actually are not affected by or wouldn't affect their life, they're like, oh, what's your problem? You're having a hard red line, you're having a hard red line here. It's just like, why is my red line less valid than yours? You're not even willing to listen to our concerns well enough to understand that they are valid, even if it doesn't affect you personally. She tried to act righteous about how you should always forgive that stuff. Pissed me off. Yeah, that's not really for us to decide whether or not, Platner is forgiving kind of a thing. My stance on forgiveness is, I can forgive somebody but never let them back in my life or into a position of power in my life. And for those who are like, oh, you should forgive this stuff, I know a couple of people who've had a couple of sex pests outed as in their friend circle. Would you forgive them and invite them back into your life? What if they murdered somebody you knew? Or what if they just murdered random people? Would you welcome them back into your life and into the spotlight and things of that nature? I feel like the answer would be a heavy fucking no. So why is it expected of everybody else to be forgiving of Platner just because it is politically convenient? Right? It's just ridiculous. Honestly, they have zero issue with brown people being executed overseas as long as they get their policies at home. Yeah, 100%. And that's what it felt like. It felt like that's what was going on. And it's just like, okay, what the hell is going on here? This is ridiculous. I don't think they'd be okay if he murdered white Americans. Yeah, I don't think so either. Right? There was another person that was recently murdered by ICE, and I haven't heard it on the big streamers yet. And maybe it'll happen soon, but I'll be covering it Monday. Today I want to do a bit more of a fun day. But we're taking so long on Platner. Let's continue getting through this.
Anti-war message, and we want to make sure that whoever replaces us also has a similar agenda. Otherwise, it is a coup against the people of Maine. And the Maine Democratic Party pushed back, saying that they don't want Platner's campaign to have anything to do with it. So they've now structured, and they're in the process of putting together.
It's weird how he was thinking that he got to dictate who could be nominated, or that he should be the person that gets to dictate who gets nominated. Why should he get all this usurpative power just because he's being ousted from the position that he lied his way into?
A plan that will have 600 delegates. And we're going to choose the next nominee.
I didn't see that. Yeah.
Offsites reporter in Maine is going to has some news on that. Is going to break that down. But first, do you want to play the latest from Devin Murphy Anderson, the Maine,
of course,
executive director. This is the Democratic Party executive director in Maine, who last night gave an update on the process.
As you all know, we have been absolutely committed to transparency. So even though it is incredibly late at night, I am coming to you live on the ground from the Maine Dems headquarters. We are so excited to announce that our process for U.S. Senate candidates is now live. Candidates now have the ability to submit their declaration of intent and begin engaging Maine Democrats in earnest by earning their support and collecting signatures. We are fully committed to transparency, so we are making those candidate rules.
I guess he's still trying to appear as the hero victim. Yeah. I'm not surprised, though, at all. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I don't know. Like, it's good that we're ousting people, but I've seen so many people being like, well, what about this person? What about this person? What about this one? It's like, maybe we were wrong with all of those situations. Maybe we should stop voting out of desperation and vote for somebody that, even though they're boring. Hi, Surfy Polecat. Welcome in. Thank you for the sub. I appreciate it. Let me see. What did you say? Thank you for the sub. Hey, Wax, how is you? I'm good. We're just covering a little bit more of Graham Platner. True Seal says Glenn Ford called the Majority Report years ago. Who's Glenn Ford? Why am I forgetting that name? Decades ago. Is that like, what's his name's brother? Oh gosh, just a second. I'm just going to Google Glenn Ford. Unless Steele wants to explain. Surfy Polecat says, well, so I was walking back from club. There was a strange guy standing by the bus stop as I walked past him. He literally started to walk behind me. My anxiety spiked very bad, worst one I ever felt. And the thing is, he was still following me in the same direction I was going. But luckily, Jake was there getting pizza and he walked with me. And the guy was still following, but he slowed down because I was with someone. But the TBH, to be honest, worst feeling ever. Oh, I'm so sorry. That really sucks. A prominent Black academic. Okay, but what relevancy does that have with the Majority Report? Is that good or bad, or like? Because like organizations change over time, and they're also like, this is the thing that bothers me the most about like what is going on with their lack of accountability and like deflection from responsibility. He's not Black. That guy's white as fuck. I feel like this is the wrong Glenn Ford. Is this the right Glenn Ford, True Steel? Wrong Glenn Ford, I think. LOL. He coined the term the Black misleader class. Interesting. Okay, Glenn Ford. Black activists. Goddamn typing. Fuck, not him. The journalist, Glenn Ford, a remarkable revolutionary. Black agenda report. Okay, New York Times. Which article do we read? Black Ford, Black journalist who lashed the mainstream something or other. Let's do this one. August 4th, August 18th. Did he die recently? We're just going to do a quick like sidestep and then we'll get back to Platner, but we're not going to do Platner all freaking day. We're going to move on quickly to, I guess it doesn't want us to know. Okay, it's taking too long. I'm sure it's interesting, but we're going to get through this.
And you can read them at maindems.org. We are continuing to race towards
also here, Surfy.
An inclusive process to select.
I'm sorry that happened to you, Surfy. That sucks. That must have been scary.
That process is in the hands of you, the people. In the meantime, you can expect more updates like this from the ground. To Mainers. Thank you for.
Are you feeling better now, or are you still freaked out?
Ryan, have you gone to maindems.org?
I have not yet. I bet Nathan has. Do you want to bring in Nathan?
Yeah, let's talk to good old Nathan because things are moving fast. Nathan,
yes,
welcome to the show. How are you?
Good.
All right, Nathan's been
clear.
Here you go, True Steel.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, just saying Nathan's been breaking a lot of news on this process along the way, including which candidates are running, who has the support of kind of which faction within the state, including Platner's erstwhile volunteers. But yeah, Nathan, how are you doing?
In fact, he called Obama out for he was when very few people did. Yeah, a lot of people were also like
that are running.
Really excited about Obama, like I was, because I wasn't that politically informed back then, despite like delving into politics really early. It wasn't until recently that I've started to become more informed. So I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that it's a rare person to have called him out, right, for what he was doing at the time.
Right. Right. So the process is finalized for how candidates can get in, but they have not yet cemented the process for how the delegates are going to be chosen. Now, you reported that one county chair.
I still see lots of Obama glazing, especially on Reddit. Loads of it. Yeah, he's on one of my magazine stands right now. It's like something like the Obamas, their life, their legacy. And it's just kind of like, is that really going to be an honest reading of the Obama's legacy? Like, in actuality, is it going to include like any war crimes that were committed? Or is it just going to be that his biggest scandal was perceived to be the time that he wore a tan fucking suit? Like, I don't know. LOL. Yeah.
How this process was looking to unfold. Griffin, if you have Nathan's tweet, you can put that up. And Nathan, kind of, it seems like this person got ahead of their skis.
Yeah, that guy definitely jumped the gun.
Their lobster boat.
Bruce Bryant. Yeah, great name.
Press release, Oxford County, Maine. Bruce Bryant, chair of the Oxford County Democrats, is covering a county caucus for the purpose of electing delegates to nominate convention for the United States Senate on July 19th from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. at Oxford Hill Comprehensive High School. Yada yada address. Registration will be at 1 p.m. All county Democrats are encouraged to attend. More details will follow. Please forward to all your friends and neighbors.
Yeah, Bruce Bryant. Bruce Bryant, I guess he was in this meeting last night with all the different county chairs from across the state, where they're still trying definitely to decide how the delegates will be elected. Bruce went onto his personal Facebook page and posted a press release, kind of leaking their thoughts on the process. So in Oxford County, yeah,
I'll read it for the audience in case you're listening on
Okay,
audio.
I don't know what this is, so we're going to just move on from stupid Platner. The fact of the matter is that he thankfully resigned finally, but we're going to move on to Troy Jackson. Troy Jackson, R.I.P. Bozo, yeah, 100%, on to better things. He was just a bump in the road. He wasn't the entire journey. Troy Jackson says he would never vote for military aid to Israel if elected to Senate. Anybody with eyes and a heart knows the Israel government is committing genocide in Gaza, the main Senate candidate said. As he runs to take the place of Graham Platner as the Democratic U.S. Senate nominee for Maine, former Senate State President Troy Jackson affirmed that he was in step with the majority of Democratic voters and would oppose sending military aid to Israel as it commits what he called a genocide in Gaza. Jackson, a longtime labor activist who finished third in the Democratic gubernatorial primary last month, has been floated by many progressives as a fitting replacement for Platner, who suspended his campaign to unseat Republican Senator Susan Collins this week following sexual assault allegations. Well, he hasn't actually officially suspended his campaign yet. He claims that, as we've learned, he's going to apparently submit them come Monday. I don't know what happens after that if he doesn't follow through. In his campaign announcement, Jackson hit many similar themes to Platner, who won the Democratic primary last month. Jackson billed himself as a progressive fighter, seeking to build a powerful movement of working-class people and emphasizing his support for Medicare for all and taking on corporate power. The working people are sick and tired of getting left behind by corporate elites and Washington insiders like Susan Collins. Together, we can defeat her. I am Troy Jackson. I'm a Mainer, a dad, a fifth-generation logger from Allagash, and I am running for United States Senate. Just a second, let's see the rest of it. Come on, load. I ask for your support so we can finally build the progressive future Mainers and Americans deserve. Join us at jacksonformaine.com. Okay, let's see what he has to say. It's probably the same thing.
Hey everyone, it's Troy Jackson. Right now, there's a powerful movement of working class people in the state of Maine. And we're sick and tired of getting screwed and struggling to get by while greedy corporations get more and more. To all of you,
in case you want to check them out. Oop, did I not give you a shout out, True Steel? Oh, sorry about that. There you go.
Because I understand that. And I want you to know that your efforts aren't for nothing.
Arcturus.
Your voice matters. Your time matters. You matter. Together, we can fix what's broken in Washington. We can pass Medicare for all. We can take on corporate power and the politicians in their pocket. We can take our country back. We can create the future Mainers and Americans deserve. I've been fighting this fight for 30 years, and I'm sure as hell not backing down now. I'm a Mainer, a dad, a fifth-generation logger from Allagash. I'm a progressive. I've been tested. I've won time and time again in deep red Trump country by double digits. I've won in progressive cities like Portland and Bangor. I know what a tough fight looks like, and I know how to win. Because working people know I have their backs. They know me. They know my values, and they know my character. We can defeat Susan Collins. The movement that you've built can win.
Okay, I have to say, he is about as exciting as dry toast. Okay, I get that he is boring. Well, a logger is already a massive leap over murderer for hire. Yeah, 100%. Like, I don't know if he's done any tours or anything like that. There is rumors that he's not pro-LGBTQ, so I think that he needs to shore that up as well if he hears those rumors. If anybody gets the opportunity to interview him, I think that it would be pertinent to discuss those issues with him and make sure like what side that he stands behind, because we can't throw anybody under the bus, yo. Like, there are still alternatives to him. And given that there is time to vet him, although time is of the essence, so doing it as quickly as possible, which shouldn't be that hard to do. It should be easy to be able to get in touch with him and figure this stuff out. Because I'm sure that there are people who are vetting like really fast and it's crazy, like as quickly as possible. And this is one of the issues that he needs to address. Like, there are still alternatives to him, right? That doesn't necessarily mean that Susan Collins can't be defeated, so long as we find the right person that doesn't throw people under the bus. Because what is considered lesser evil voting, right? Like, because you have to sacrifice something, and it's either that everybody is protected to the current standards as best as they can be, or you throw certain people under the bus for this concept of progress, but progress for who, right? Like, and that's something that I saw so much with this Graham Platner bullshit. Like, it was just like, okay, we're willing to throw so many people under the bus until it got to this one point. I fucking hate lesser evil voting. I mean, I think it depends on if your concept of what you're like putting as lesser evil actually is lesser evil, because I feel like people are just throwing that term around to sort of defend their choices rather than examining whether or not their choices were actually lesser evil voting. Because the minute that you start throwing minorities under the bus in the name of progress, like, you're excluding certain people that you claim to be allies from that potential progress, just so that things can get better for a certain number of people. And that's pretty exhausting as a minority when that seems to constantly be the status quo just within capitalism in and of itself, right? Like, it's just like, oh, just one more person that is claiming to be an ally to me is willing to be like, oh, here are the bus tires. Feel free to like hop on under yourself because I'm not going to support you anymore through at least this portion of my life, right? By supporting Graham Platner so heavily and then not being accountable for like that support after, and not just acknowledging like your own behavior afterwards. It's just kind of like another spit in the face kind of thing. It's just kind of weird. I don't know.
For your support so we can take back the Senate seat and send Susan Collins packing once and for all.
So I don't have a problem with lesser evil voting, provided it actually is lesser evil voting. Some observers noted that absent from any mention of Gaza, which Platner emphasized heavily and which has become a central moral issue for many Democratic voters who overwhelmingly oppose continued support for Israel as it commits what the majority feel is a genocide against Palestine. Just a second. A review of Jackson's social media history showed that he had no posts about Gaza when he announced his campaign on Wednesday, but following reports that an Israel missile strike had killed a Palestinian aid worker who'd organized World Cup watch parties in Gaza, Jackson took the opportunity to make his stance clear. Which is good. Now he just needs to follow through with everything else. This is unconscionable, Jackson wrote on X. Anybody with eyes and a heart knows the Israeli government is committing genocide in Gaza. It has to end, and we as Americans have the power to end it. So this is something that I am still leery of. I'm glad that he came out, but the fact that he only came out after he launched his campaign is a little bit sus to me. But it's not like he went and did 5 tours in BlackRock and he's essentially saying that he does not support Israel before he gets into government. So the chances of him getting donations once he gets into government, like from Israel and AIPAC and places like that, have diminished greatly. I'm not saying it's not impossible. They might just like try to offer him larger and larger sums of money until he finally caves, but hopefully that doesn't happen. When I'm in the United States, he continued, I'll never vote in favor, United States Senate, he continued, I'll never vote in favor of U.S. taxpayer-funded military aid to Israel. This is just a tweet that we just read. Other leading candidates, most of whom ran for governor, have expressed a range of opinions about Israelis' conduct. Nirav Shia, a physician who led the Maine Center for Disease Control and Prevention from 2019 to 2023, and finished second in the gubernatorial primary, has expressed a similar strong stance that Israel was committing genocide and that he would support a full arms embargo and refused any campaign funding from the American Israel Public Affairs Committee, AIPAC. Sheena Bellows, who came in 4th place in the governor's race and currently serves as Maine Secretary of State, has not publicly expressed a clear opinion on support for Israel, though in her 2014 Senate run against Collins, she advocated more generally for deep cuts in defense spending, so public money could be directed towards domestic projects. The progressive group Over Our Revolution, which has thrown its support behind Jackson, commended the candidate for taking a forthright stance. Troy Jackson doesn't do word salad, said the group. The group said he calls a genocide, and says he'll never vote for taxpayer-funded military aid to fund it. That's what Maine voters delivered. That's what Maine voters delivered a historic win on June 9th. What's this? Okay, that's the end of the article by Stephen Pager. All right. We already read that. Let's see. All right, we're going to... Not this one. We're going to read this one quickly, and then we'll get into fun stuff. Palestinian doctor held by Israel for 18 months in the middle is in dire condition, advocates say. This is the last time you'll see me, Dr. Hussam Abu Safia told his attorney in their last meeting amid fears for his life, Physician for Human Rights Israel said. Boo. Sorry. I should have checked. I can't read the article for you guys. I guess we're just hopping right into fun stuff. Maybe I'll be able to find a gift article soon. Do we want to do rating people's streams first? Or do we want to do... Let's do Rob Reiner. How a horde of not Rob Reiner. I don't know why I keep on saying paywall shit. I know. I don't know why I keep on saying Rob Reiner. It's not Rob Reiner. It's Jeremy Renner's. How a horde of Jeremy Renner shut down the official Jeremy Renner app. So if you're unaware of who Jeremy Renner is, he is best known for what the fuck? It gets pretty funny. Jeremy Lee Renner, born in Modesto, California, the son to Valerie Tegu and Lee Renner, who managed a bowling alley after a tumultuous yet happy childhood with 4 younger siblings. Renner graduated from Bayer High School and attended Modesto Junior College. He explored several areas of study, including computer science, criminology, and psychology before the theater department. With its freedom of emotional expression, he drew him in. Cool. So he's an actor best known for like Hawkeye, in the Avengers series. He's done quite a few things. The Town, Wind River, great movie. The Hurt Locker, I haven't seen it. I've seen some of the Avengers ones. Hopefully you recognize some of these movies that he's been in. We're not going to look at all of them. But this is Jeremy Renner. he also unfortunately experienced quite a serious accident with a snow machine or something like that ran him over and landed him in the hospital for quite some time, but he's recovered quite well since then. But we're going to read about the Jeremy Renner Act. Jeremy Renner, the actor, the artist, the influencer, the celebrity sensation, the legend. From the outside, he is mostly known as Hawkeye from the Marvel MCU movies. But on the inside, he is Jeremy Renner. Jokes aside, Jeremy Renner is quite a respected actor who is also really successful, getting tons of recognition and even getting multiple Academy Award nominations. It is why when he recently got into a snowplow accident which left him in critical condition, many were concerned for him. Recently, he updated that he is now okay, and I am genuinely glad he is. Yeah, because I don't want him to get hurt just because of this ridiculousness. But even after this awful injury, all the people can talk about is the thing that has been haunting Jeremy Renner's career for the past half a decade: the Jeremy Renner app. Designed to be an app to get Jeremy Renner more in touch with his adoring fans, it only took a week to turn it into a massive laughingstock that quickly shut down. So how did the Jeremy Renner app start, and how did it end so quickly? There is no escape from Escape X. I don't know what that is, but yeah. Before we can talk about the Jeremy app, we need to talk about the people who made it first. The company Escape X, the company Escape X, excuse me. The company was founded in 2014, and the year after was able to raise over $18 million in funding. They put that money to good use as they started racking up celebrity deals all over the world, most notably famous Bollywood stars. They would then make special apps that were basically social media sites entirely dedicated to the stars the app were named after. They had quite some success, as they reported that in 2018, they got $5.5 million in revenue. While their foot was mostly in Asian markets, they also had some notable Western names they had made official apps for, like Akon, Chris D'Elia, Dita Von Tessa, Bob Marley, yes, this is real, the Backpack Kid, yes, also very real, and of course, the man, Jeremy Renner. The inner workings of Jeremy Renner. The official Jeremy Renner app launched in March 2017. So how did this app work? Well, when you open the app and after an exclusive video of Jeremy Renner explaining what the app was about, you would find Instagram, but everything revolved around Jeremy Renner. All of the pictures posted by Jeremy Renner, the posts you could reply to were that of Jeremy Renner, and you could pay Jeremy Renner money. Wait, what? Yes, the Jeremy Renner app had in-app purchases where you could buy stars and use those stars to boost your comment under Jeremy Renner's post. And when you got enough stars to boost your comment to the top 3, you could get a reply from Jeremy Renner. Yep, the app was that simple, replying to Jeremy Renner until maybe at some point in your life, Jeremy Renner would acknowledge you. If this app sounds pretty lazy, it gets even lazier when you realize the Jeremy Renner app was just literally Jeremy Renner's Instagram page. Every post Jeremy Renner made on Instagram, he also posted on the Jeremy Renner app. He even copied the Instagram caption, which created some awkward posts when he used hashtags or at people in posts, even though the Jeremy Renner app had no hashtag or at function. The Jeremy Renner app did include some exclusive Jeremy Renner content, but almost all of it was related to his music career. Some might then say the Jeremy Renner app was used to promote his music, but my middle name is Some, and so yeah, Jeremy Renner definitely used the Jeremy Renner app for, the most to promote his music. While the existence of this app was absurd, the inner working even more absurd. The app was quite a success and got many fans religiously using the app. Oh my goodness. there was an app. I don't think that I would ever in my life be able to download a specific person's app. That would be like, that's a little much for me. That's a little much for me. Excuse me. Let's keep going. There was an actual community on the Jeremy Renner app with memes, events, and giveaways. There was drama about censorship and contest rigging, which are too big to go into now. But overall, the app continued to work smoothly for 2 years until August 20th, 2019. The 1-2 punch. While it is quite difficult to pin down where it all went wrong, I have pinpointed 2 things that 1-2 punched the Jeremy Renner app into chaos. The first punch was this comedic tweet. Let's see if it's still up. Let's see. What does it say? Okay. The Jeremy Renner is my favorite actor. Jeremy Renner is my favorite musician. Jeremy Renner is definitely my favorite app. Got a couple of gigs. First one was in Oklahoma City tonight. Oh yeah, and then somebody else wrote something else. Let's see. While the tweet itself didn't catch a lot of attention, it did catch the attention of the YouTuber Danny Gonzalez, who a few days later made a collab with Drew Gooden exploring the Jeremy Renner app. We're not going to watch all of it, but it's really, really funny. I can't remember if I linked this in chat or not. Here, just a sec. Just in case you want to check out all the links. We're not going to because we don't have enough time today, but God damn it. Come on, stupid thing. There we go. As you can see, the video is quite popular. It exposes a lot of people to the Jeremy Renner app. The first punch got the manpower, but the second punch gave the tools. On August 20th, 2019, Jeremy Renner posted a picture with the caption, "Hi, Jonah. Welcome in. Platner's crazy." I know. Platner dropped out. Thank goodness. I mean, he's yet to actually submit his papers, so there's potential that he tries to, maneuver his way in, regardless of what he claimed he would do, which honestly, at this point, wouldn't surprise me, unfortunately. But yeah. We're reading about Jeremy Renner app right now. How are you? Welcome in. Posted a picture with the caption, "Have a rockin' weekend, everyone. What's the plan?" Comedian Stephen Heck then posted an honest comment. "I will be looking at porno on my computer." While there was an expected backlash from loyal Jeremy Renner fans as an expected ban, Stephen Heck did realize something. Everyone who commented on the post got the notification from his comment, and the notification of the Jeremy Renner app was constructed that it looked like Jeremy Renner sent the porno comment. After Stephen Heck was banned from the app, he came back. He came the next day back on an account called Jeremy Renner Porno Truth, where he posted a quote from AI way before he got quickly banned again. He posted his experience on both his Twitter and on an article he wrote. An update Stephen added to the article says everything what happened after. All hell breaks loose. It started out calm, with a few accounts changing their names, like Jeremy Renner's Swedish Dog or Italian Jeremy Renner, but quickly it spiraled out of control. So many people were flooding in the Jeremy Renner app with accounts impersonating celebrities, from Steve Jobs to O.J. Simpson to Jeffrey Epstein to Jar Jar Binks to, of course, Jeremy Renner himself. The impersonation account started spamming comments, memes, and everything you would expect a troll raid to do. It got to the point that the earnest users did not even know which Jeremy Renner account was the real Jeremy Renner, which is pretty freaking hilarious. The moderators of the Jeremy Renner app tried to put out the flames, but the Jeremy Renners were too strong. Nothing could stop the horde of Jeremy Renners. And that point, Jeremy Renner, the real one, had enough. On September 4th, Jeremy Renner made one final post on the Jeremy Renner app. This app has jumped the shark, literally, due to clever individuals that were able to manipulate ways to impersonate me and others within the app. I have asked EscapeX, the company that runs the app, to shut it down immediately. and refund anyone who purchased stars in the last 90 days. Dude, you never should have been charging for stars in the first place. Ugh. The Jeremy Renner app shut down shortly after that. The aftermath. After the Jeremy Renner app shut down and the countless articles were made, Jeremy Renner moved on to focus, posting on his regular social media. Other than that, he continued being Jeremy Renner. EscapeX, on the other hand, met a worse fate. After the Jeremy Renner app shut down, they pretty much fell off the face of the earth. All of their celebrity apps shut down. Yes, even the Backpack Kid app. All their socials haven't been updated since 2019, and their website is defunct. It is safe to assume that they won't be coming back. To most, the Jeremy Renner app is nothing more than a punchline. What was meant to be a new way for a huge celebrity to interact with their fans became a joke that couldn't handle its own scrutiny. Some still defend the Jeremy Renner app, and a few even have fond memories of it. But today, it's a funny curiosity that once in a moon, someone goes, "Hey, remember the Jeremy Renner app? Remember when Jeremy Renner had an app?" This post contains 60 Jeremy Renners. I thought that was really funny. But anyway, we're going to get into live rating some people's stream. How far into the stream are we? Let's see. 2 minutes and here. Let's say 39. And we're going to check out who gave me an easy access to their site. I'm just going to check them first before I rate them. So let me find something for you guys to watch while I do that quickly. Oop. Hope everybody's having a good day. Thank you so much for being here with me, guys. I greatly appreciate it. No, we're not going to watch anything about Graham Platner again. Not the Lego scandal. No, I don't care about members only content. That's too long. Too long. It feels like long form content is now taking over YouTube again. Mamadani cries authoritarianism forgets his own ideology. No. No, we're not watching that either. Oh my goodness. Give me something stupid to watch. 42 minutes. Good Christ. Is there not like a 10-minute video? Not even? 5 minutes? 3 minutes? No? Okay. Sorry, guys. We're just going to have to like wait and look at my face while I check this out quickly because I want to make sure that there's nothing like offensive to look at. I just want to give it a quick once over before we start doing live reacts to it. But what we're going to do is I'm going to live react to people's channels. Supernova. Uh-oh. I can't find you. Did you change your username? If so, I can't find you. Okay, we gotta skip this person, sadly. I'll give them an update every time I react to it. Oop, there we go. Not this one. I guess I should have asked what platform they were on. Damn it. Wrong one. Let's see. This one? If we're lucky. If we can't find anybody, I guess we're not doing that either, and we're just going to Meccha Chameleon. Okay, catching the games. Let's see. 24 followers. All right. Nothing bad yet. I'm just going to read their about quickly. My name is I'm a gamer, red, I don't know what that means. Okay. Axe. Specs, chat. No, I'm bullying, hate speech. Oh. Okay, perfect. we're going to live react to people's channels for a little bit. And the way this is going to go is as we're reacting to their channel, we're going to watch a little bit of some of their stream and give them some constructive feedback, right? Don't be rude, otherwise we'll get timed out to potential full ban. If you don't have anything to say, don't worry about it. But I always try to make sure that I make this as constructive as possible. And when I do that, I might not follow you, but I might also follow you. There's one thing that'll say out loud, like if I can't tell if you're an adult or not, I won't follow you. But if I can, then that's a likely chance that I follow you. And then there's one other thing that I have to look for to follow people, but I'm not going to say that out loud because I don't want it to become like a thing. But yeah, this is Catching the Game. Let me link them in chat. What time was it again? Come on. And it is, oh God, 4:26. What time did I say that it was before? Anyways, we're rating them at 4:26. Okay, my family thinks I'm wrong for taking a screwdriver to a bench so a homeless person could sleep on it. Why? What the hell? That's a nice deed. That's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. Have you seen, what is it called? Aggressive architecture or something like that. It's designed to like prevent homeless people from laxing around your place of business. But anyways, my name is Matthew Ketch, and I'm a gamer, writer, and dungeon master 3.5e with some dabbling in 5e that will talk your head off about books, video games, D&D, music, movies, and ancient mythology, and more. Sounds interesting. Currently completing games. Okay, let's watch one of their videos. I dismantled the barriers, but none of them wanted to take him in. Do you know this homeless person? Something that might be more appropriate or more comfortable for people would be to look up resources for them to offer this person if they don't feel comfortable checking them out. All right, let's watch this.
No more waiting. We're just going to jump into this game and hopefully...
Oopsies. No intro? Playback speed, normal. There we go. Let's see if there's actually an intro. And I missed it. Nope. True Steel says, I don't know the homeless person. Okay, would you take them in, or would you offer them resources and at most maybe offer them a ride to those resources so that they could actually get there? Kind of a thing.
Okay, you guys. Whew, this is rough. But I think I figured it out. Oh my gosh.
Dead Space.
Thanks for sticking with me.
I like Dead Space.
This has just been a new experience for me going through a PlayStation 3 game with OBS. It's not as simple as I thought it might be.
True Steel says, but my thing to them is don't complain if they aren't going to do anything. Fair enough. It depends on the person, how cognitive they are. Also fair enough. Yeah. Calling for help instead might also be a better option, although there's not that much help out there. Most of these people are sent out there by the hospitals because they don't want to care for them anymore.
So, I ended up having to lower down...
We'll watch about settings. 5 different minutes throughout the thing. So it's not just one part.
Lower down a whole bunch of the settings because the PlayStation
at least 5 minutes.
Is essentially trying to go at optimal rate, which transferring it through the laptop doesn't end up boding so well. So, again, thanks for sticking with me through the technical difficulties. I am going to drink more coffee because I need it.
I got that.
But live and learn. You know, these are the things that help you grow as a streamer and understand the technical ins and outs that you need to do to make a game work. So no more waiting. We're just going to jump into this game and hopefully, I tested it. It should work. Hopefully the audio will not sound terrible. Here we go.
All right, let's see. Interesting transition. That's cool.
As it takes a minute to catch up. Get some
the top of your
old
frame for your camera is cut off.
I don't know how many people are used to what those look like. Sounds better.
Like, I don't know if you can see it.
I think we're off to a good start.
There, full screen. Yeah, it's like cut off at the top.
Dem 80s, yep. A little bit of the 90s too, but mostly the 80s. Oh, it's got to load trophies and everything.
We'll go to 2 minutes and 30 seconds into the actual start of the stream.
Some options. Audio. Music volume. I'm going to lower it just a little bit.
This is just set up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see a little bit further in.
I'm dying already?
Like, the only thing that I would note to start is probably have a little bit of an intro, like, even if it's just like, you know, a loading screen type of a thing, announcing starting soon, so that people can have time to find your stream before you actually start talking and stuff like that. Lots of people do that. It gives people time to actually settle in and grab like a drink or something like that if they're going to chill with you and whatnot. I actually just realized I should take my camera down. Just give me a second. Doop, there you go. Okay. That would be my first critique and stuff like that. And even then, it's not like that big of a critique. Your volume and stuff sounds really good in comparison to the game that you're playing and things that like you're talking regularly, which is good because if anybody comes into your stream, then at least they have something potential that they can like talk to you about rather than like listening to dead air and then hopefully like figuring out something to interact with you about. Some people like those kinds of streams, but a lot of people really like when they can hear you talking and things like and like have an option to like potentially grab onto a topic and discuss it with you.
I might. Oh, shit. Woo!
Isaac, get the hell out of there!
Trying to run. Oh. Oh. God. Woo! Rough. Man, this third-person view is nitty. Man, that's crazy. Guys, let me know if the audio for the game is too loud. I can always shift.
No, it's fine. I can hear you at equal measure. It's good that you asked. I don't know why people rarely answer when you ask that. But it's fine from like my perspective. It's not too loud over your voice.
That doesn't look appealing. Cut off their limbs. Plasma cutter.
Okay, let's go a little bit further in. Let's go a couple of hours into the stream. See what you get up to now.
Weird.
This isn't Dead Space, is it?
Yeah. Like I didn't have any time to really engage them with the weapon. It was like they were on top of me right as soon as that explosion sequence ended.
Does your About page have, like, you have some of your VODs?
Try to shoot the thing with the stasis thingy. And
Just like, I'm just seeing if your About page has your schedule. About? No. Schedule Wednesdays and Sundays from 12 p.m. PST, and there's no finish time? Okay, that's good. So his next stream will be Sunday.
There we go. You're right.
I think you're pretty good. You're not for me, but it is entertaining and stuff like that. So I definitely suggest people go and check you out. Catching the Game is the name, and they only have 24 followers so far. But they are anti-hate and all the usual good stuff. So they have website and specs and things of that nature you can check out also. My only real point would be like to try to develop some sort of intro screen. If it's just like a plain screen that says starting soon and you play some music behind it or whatever. Some copyright free like lo-fi bullshit or whatever. It doesn't have to be like extensive or super like creative or anything like that. But just having like 15 minutes before you start, just have it running is also a good idea. I have a super short one. I wish it was a little bit longer, but that's for the future. We'll see. Okay, who's next? Give you an update on yours. Just a second. There's that one. That's not what I was looking for. This is what I was looking for. Okay. The Moon Fallen. Let's see. I'm just going to check them out. Actually, let's just do this. Moon Fallen. Paste. Moon Fallen pro wrestler trainer at... Okay, here we go. So, Control V, and it is for... That's not the right one. I know that it's 4:37 here, but what time is it here? It is 2:52, 2:53. 2:53 is when we started reviewing into this person's channel. Moonfallen says they are Nolan Knight, the Moonfall pro wrestler training at Torture Chamber Pro Wrestling Dojo Gaming, wrestling talk and late night streams. Interesting. About Welcome to Moonfall. I'm Nolan, the Moonfall Knight competitive gamer, pro wrestler, wrestling trainee, creator and builder of a community focused on growth, discipline, and having a good time along the way. You'll find a mix of TCGs, RPGs, FPS titles, MMOs, strategy games, and whatever challenge I'm currently grinding. Whether it's climbing ranks, learning new games, or preparing for tournaments, improvement is always the goal. Outside of gaming, I'm actively training for my professional wrestling debut. Congratulations, that sounds exciting. Wrestling conditioning, performance, and mindset are a huge part of my journey, and you'll occasionally get a look behind the curtain at the process. I'm also the creator behind Void Ascend, an ongoing music project focused on cinematic themes, entrance music, and original tracks inspired by competition, storytelling, and the Moonfall universe. The Moonfall community is built around respect, improvement, and shared experiences. Whether you're here to game, train, create, or simply hang out, you're welcome under the moon. You'll also find sponsor campaigns, community events, giveaways, free game alerts, Discord exclusives, and behind-the-scenes content as the channel continues to grow. One final thing, Moonshine is always watching. Thank you for stopping by. Pull up a chair and join the conversation and enjoy the journey. That's a good intro about yourself. I like that. What about your rules? Where are your rules? No rules? Am I missing them? Interesting. It's always good to have chat rules personally. I don't know, maybe you have them in actual chat. All right, let's see a video. Let's see. For a limited time, watch content 3 days this week to earn badge channels. Yeah, okay, whatever. That's an announcement from Stupid Twitch. Recent broadcast 6 hours ago. Zero views yet. Cloudy with a chance of rain. New Patreon. Check out the Valley Man. Want to join MGT tournament? New Patreon. Check out the commands. Okay, let's check this one out. I don't know what this is. This video is only available to subscribers. Subscribe now to watch. Uh-oh. I guess we can't rate you beyond what it was. Let's see, is this the same thing? Do you have your VODs locked for subscribers? Yeah, unfortunately, we can't rate you if you don't let your VODs open for me to be able to, sadly. But if it's working for you, keep better. So I can't really rate you on terms of your actual video or not. We'll rate one more person and then we'll move on to Meccha Chameleon. Pickles? Let's see, are you a real person? How do I find your about? Overview. Wickles. Here we go. I've never played Meccha Chameleon before, so we're going to suck at it. But this is Wickles, and it is what time in the VOD? 2:56, 2:57. Okay, let's see. Wickles. That's a unique name. I like it. All right. Chat. I like this. This is just nice and chill right now. And I just need to chill. Okay, let's read the about. This is Wickles. I don't take myself too seriously, and neither should you. All right. Socials, I don't know. Make them up as I go. Are the rules, excuse me. About me, I don't take myself too seriously, and neither should you. Same again. And there are the socials. So there's not much about this person, except that we shouldn't take them too seriously. Okay. No videos? How am I supposed to rate you when there's no videos? When was the last time you streamed? This is unique. Am I crazy? For a limited time. Yeah, there's nothing. Why would you ask for yourself to be rated? Is it going to show up? No, there's nothing here. Clips? Anything? There's a clip from 10 days ago. All right, let's see. What does Wickles have to say?
Or maybe, who knows? My dis me, by dis me, love dis me.
All right. Well, this isn't going as planned. I don't know what people. The first thing that you need to do is get your fucking shit in order if you want people to be able to rate you. That's probably the harshest criticism that I can get. What on earth is going on? Okay, we're going to skip all of this. I'm going to set up Meccha Chameleon, and while we're doing that, I'm just going to let this play for a short bit because I thought it was a little bit funny, and maybe you guys will enjoy it too.
Yo, what if I was a black guy?
This is, oh wait, I forgot to say, the music industry currently.
Yo, what if I was a black guy? 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 Yo, what if I was a black woman? Yo, what if I was a black woman? I don't want to be black anymore. 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 Oh, so when I was 15, I could date 15-year-olds, but now that I'm 30, I can't date them anymore? Fucking bullshit. I want a Slurpee from down the street. I need an airplane. I need 3 airplanes to get. Yo, what if I was a black guy? Yo, what if I was a black guy?
I'm just updating Meccha Chameleon right now.
Look, just because I made a Heil Hitler song and then wore a black KKK suit doesn't mean I'm a white supremacist. My mom died, so it doesn't count. I want a white wife I can talk to and an Asian girl to do jutsu. And I don't want gay people influencing my kids. I only want straight people influencing my kids. That's why I hired a pedophile to touch my son when he turned 13. Because that's good parenting. Yo, can y'all just let the Rihanna thing go? Jesus.
What about all the other women you keep hitting?
Fuck you just say?
I just thought that was funny. All right, let me show my camera again. We're going to switch over into gaming. We're just waiting for Meccha Chameleon to update. It should only take a few more seconds, hopefully. I hope everybody's doing all right. We're going to switch categories to Meccha. I've never played this before. So please forgive me if I absolutely frickin' bungle it and my painting skills are trash. We're moving on to Meccha Chameleon. Okay. Is it updated yet? Yes. Okay, play. Let's go over to gaming. Oh, it wants me to accept some more shit. I think I already did, but alright. Game capture, properties. Yes. Just waiting for it to load up. I don't know why it takes so long. I already pressed play. Come on, let me go. If this doesn't work, we'll resort to Outlast trials for a little bit. I just realized how badly I gotta go to the loo. Let me find something for you quickly. YouTube. There's gotta be something that I can play. No, not that. That's like an hour long. Why is there not like 10-minute videos on YouTube anymore? I swear. It's so overwhelming. Denim's TV. Okay, we're gonna watch this. Hi Nova, how are you? Welcome in. It has been forever. Where have you been? School and stuff? Long time no see. Yeah, no kidding. How are you? Welcome in. Just a second. I have to go pee. Like, so bad. So while you're answering that, we're gonna listen to this quickly. Finish my degree? Congratulations! Congratulations! Now what are you up to? That's exciting. Here, just a second. I don't know what this drama is, but I've got to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back, Nova. I'm like dying. Otherwise, I'd talk to you right away.
Not good enough. Not good enough.
Sorry, Denims.
So on the topic of people being exposed and showing their true colors,
I'm going to graduate. Congratulations. That's exciting.
Question.
How long until you graduate? When's your graduation?
Someone sent this tweet earlier. Hey, Asmongold, are you going to react to your Queen Emiru's 48 minutes of lies, or do you want to keep hitting on her, saying how cool you are for using the N-word as passwords at 33 years old? Emiru sent this to me in a screenshot years ago. I'm sorry, what? So is this what he meant by demon mode? Emiru said, a creative, huh? And then Asmongold wrote the N-word with like different letters and numbers. Like I'm talking really creative shit like that. This isn't even creative. Screenshot. Emiru says screenshotted JK. He said at a certain point, he wasn't even the word anymore. LOL. Everyone knows I said it. Don't worry. Emiru said Omega lol. Asmund says, I think I even have videos of me saying it. Emiru says, really? LOL. Asmund says, yeah, I have like super bad stuff online and no one cares. Emiru says, but Pokimane is a racist for her clips. But you don't try to act perfect, I guess. Omega laughing. Asmund says, yeah, that's why people hate her, not because of the words. LOL, it's the fakeness 100%. I feel like Mizkif is pretty much over the canceled stuff, but it's always going to be there. And he can't joke around with it like I know he would because of OTK. LOL. You ever riz up women by telling them that your passwords are variations of the N-word? Wait. You know, I was half joking when I said I think the reason that like I triggered Asmongold with that meme was because that's what their actual DMs actually looked like. But I was just joking when I said that. Did I actually strike a nerve? Wait. When I made this tweet, and I said, breaking, Emiru messages have been leaked without Asmongold.
Sorry, guys. Okay.
It's this meme.
Well, thank you. Thank you for your patience. What else have you been up to? Just that? Have you been like hyper focused on that?
Because he actually... Dude, what are these fucking messages? Oh my god, dude, stop. Then
Just a second.
See the future? Yeah.
I'll be right back, guys. I'm still here. I'll be talking.
I don't want to tell you guys this.
Been organizing trade union stuff. Have you been making some progress with that, or is it sort of like stalled?
Noster Denims. Exactly. I desperately need you to comment on the absurdity of this Riz working on Emiru. Well, I don't think it's working though. I don't think it actually worked though. They dated? No, I don't think but I don't think Asmund and Emiru dated. I don't know them, so I don't know. It's just speculation, but I'm pretty sure that is not happening. Maybe
Excuse me.
Like showered.
I just don't want to eat on camera. I just need a snack. I'm starving.
That's like, it's like actually it's disgusting. A shower is not going to help you. I think a shower won't do enough at this point.
The heat wave here is helping efforts.
The bar really.
The management are not turning on the AC and claiming it's broken. Spoilers, it's not. Yeah, I'm not surprised by that at all, unfortunately. Anything to save a penny, right? Even if it's over the safety of your life.
I saw I saw Mizkif put out a video talking about the Emmer stuff, and I was thinking we could do that on the weekend. I thought that was a good shit Saturday thing to do. I don't want to cover it today because I really wanted to cover the Platner stuff. So we'll probably do that on Saturday. But I have to say, like, I saw a little bit of it, and
how are you surviving the heat? Not
if you guys
bad.
can believe it.
And legally, they don't have any obligation to keep temperature under a certain limit. It's crazy that we haven't started seeing like platforms with information like this, like about protecting the worker finally, because we are like the first and foremost in front of everything, right?
Yeah, we'll look at it on
frontline workers and stuff like that. Not we, but
I'll
them.
look at this later, Griggles. I wanted to do a little bit of research first before I.
We have no law for that here for that. I don't think we have a law here for that either, but we need one, especially for like construction workers and people who have to work outside.
Is it true? Did she leave stuff out? Well, like some of the stuff.
Fuck capitalism, yeah, 100%.
She was like insisting that like she had broken up with him.
Like, how are we going to keep our lifeguards safe?
Receipts showing that like
because they have to go to the beach.
He was the one that broke up with her multiple times
and look after people.
Many things, and it's
in
like,
the heat
why,
and stuff like that.
Why would you lie about that? What? But like I said. We'll get to it on.
Are we going to figure out a way to adapt their watch stands to ensure that they're able to safely do their job and comfortably do their job, and focus on the important things rather than like trying not to like die of like
it was really
wet and stuff. Like
the phone
have
thing.
like I just realized my mic was incredibly loud.
He had proof or
it
something
should be
showing that
practice.
Wasn't the case.
Yeah, I agree.
And that like she literally was like laughing about it on stream because she thought it was funny. But she wanted to frame it as like this was a very abusive and hostile environment. So she like
yeah, the level of like disrespect that companies have for their own workers, it blows my mind how more people can so easily be turned against unionizing. Because union busting is an incredibly effective tool of businesses, right? Like, it scares them, one, because most people can't afford to lose their fucking job, which is exactly like what capitalists like. Like, they want people in that position because the more scared you are to lose your job, you know, the more you're likely to be willing to have things taken away from you or not implemented that could ensure your safety and longevity. Just like just like how the minimum wage works, it's barely enough to keep you alive, and even then, like if companies could pay you less, they would. That's just the minimum wage that they're permitted to legally pay you, and some places don't even have minimum wage, right? So, yeah, protect your workers should be a priority.
All right, man.
We need to continue standing up and fighting back. LOL, 100%. It's hard, though, to convince people when, you know, they're in such vulnerable positions to take further risk. People hours have been cut to include mine, so that's fun. Oh, I guess they're not happy about that, are they? Oh, well. If only they could manage to find the payout of the millions to billions of dollars in profit they make every year to just hire enough staff and take slightly less profit, which I feel like would ultimately be more beneficial to their companies in the long run. I think it's so the managers can get bonuses for record profit. Yeah, 100%. It is always upward momentum. And the minute that things stop like having upward momentum, even though they're probably wildly profitable, they're just not making like more profits than they were before, because there's always going to eventually be a plateau. Like, there is a tipping point that we're going to reach at some point if things don't correct soon. Despite the fact the places I work at is actually very profitable anyways, yeah, they don't want to invest a single dime beyond what they absolutely have to and work it as skeleton crew as possible. So even though you might see it as like a lot of staff for the demand of work that they're expected to go under, and the time constraints that you're expected to work under, it might not actually be an adequate amount of staff. They might just be a lot of people crammed into a really small space. So it looks like a lot of people doing like minimal amounts of work when really it's a few people doing a large amount of work. I'm thinking of Starbucks when I think of this, the way that they're all crammed back there in that small amount of space to make more space for customers when it could be a little bit more 50-50 if Starbucks wasn't so cheap that they invested in the smallest spaces possible to try to capitalize on profit, because why should you be comfortable as a worker? Obviously, customers are priority.
And yeah, I love when this happens, dude. I love that. That's so good. That's so good. I love it. This is so great.
I stopped going to Starbucks here because it costs about like $7 to $8 for a regular drink there now at a grande size, and it's insane. And like the smallest drink is like $5 now. So it's like, nah, I'm good, thanks. It's also not helping my union is corporate corrupt, so it's hard to get support from them. That sucks. Is it a rat union, as they reference them? One created by the company so that a new union from the workers couldn't form, type thing?
For everyone involved.
I stopped going to Starbucks because boycott, LOL. I didn't know they were on BDS. Yeah. There's local places that you can go to and support that are better and have better tasting drinks and stuff like that.
That's so dope and sick, right?
BDS of the worker strike? The workers are on strike? I didn't know that. Good for them. I hope they get what they're asking for, and that Starbucks doesn't counter by raising the prices another $2 because they have to make 200% profit on whatever financial quote-unquote sacrifice they make to ensure that their employees are able to survive long enough to return to work the next day, because they don't have enough churn to have enough people to work every single day. They actually need trained labor, because we don't have the robotics currently to replace a Starbucks worker, and we are an incredibly long way away from that. So I hope they utilize that like aspect when like Starbucks is like, yeah, we've got AI and robots now. It's like, you don't have a barista robot that can do all the shit that a barista robot could need to do. And even if you did, you don't know how many people would be accepting of this quite like right off the bat, and how long it would take before, if ever, they were accepting of this change to having a robotic like employee or whatever. I don't know. Just some food for thought.
That's so good and dope. He also like recontextualizes some of the stuff that she had originally framed. So I think a lot of people originally, when they saw the clip, they were like, okay, yeah, sure. Even if it's not the technical definition of sexual assault, it doesn't change the fact that like you saw her crying and you used it as an opportunity to like have sex with her.
Just a second. You say, Novalium says, it's not a rat union, but the current government are the type that like to have power, like narcissistic rulers. Yeah. They don't do much and get to take their pictures with big political figures and events, and they crack down on criticisms against them. Yeah, that sounds about right. They don't actually want to work for you, kind of a thing.
Whatever. And that's piece of shit of you.
Don't criticize us. We're working hard.
He showed like a bunch of receipts or something and a bunch of logs of like how this is like a shitty toxic relationship between two people, where I don't know how people do this shit, by the way. Every time a relationship has ended in my life, I basically stop not talking to that person, but I never restart a relationship I've ended. Once it's done, it's done. But they had like gotten...
That's a healthy way to be.
They would break up, or he would break up with her, or sometimes she would break up with him. And then she would call him and tell him to come over. And she would initiate sex. And they would like fight and like cry and then make up. And that was an instance of that happening. Except in that instance, she was like, I don't want to have sex. And then he fucked off. And I was like, oh, I guess you wouldn't want to provide the context of this being a back and forth, break up, make up, fight, break up, make up relationship.
I have no idea what this actually is.
Then you can't contextualize this one experience as this one thing. And it's like,
okay,
all right, man.
Just a second.
Okay. So it's just like really very mold inducing experience.
Okay, this is just stream of drama. This is just stream of drama. Let me come back. I'm here. Sorry about that, guys. I had to finish my snack and I didn't want to do it on camera. We're going over to gaming and we're going to play Meccha Chameleon. I've never played Meccha Chameleon before. I thought about helping create a nuclear button to split off and create our own union, but the system is different compared to other countries where we have to be recognized by something called the Registry of Friendly Societies, and the requirements to be recognized would cost thousands of euros. Oh god, that sucks. Why do they always make it a financial bar? They've essentially turned it into, like, it should be signature support rather than financial support. Like, I understand that they want things processed, but they should first, like, be looking at whether or not your union is worthy of being a union and basing it off of the number of supportive members. And then if they want to say, like, if we approve, we expect this fee collection for, like, continued recognition or whatever as a thank you for the work that they did or something. And they can't make it egregiously high. It should just be reasonably representative of what each union member should be expected to pay to keep the union working. And, like, obviously the union should work for the people. Union busting, baby, state sponsored too. Yeah, no kidding. Like, I don't know. There's just better ways, and they're just kind of, like, allergic to it, apparently. Okay, I have absolutely no idea how to do this. How do we find... I'm guessing we find a server? Private server, public server. I don't care. North America? Sure. Download mods? I don't have any. Search public server. Waiting, super cool, fun maps. 2. We're gonna join because this is gonna give us more time. Let's see. Do you want public and private networks to access this? Sure. Whatever. So I'm teaming up with other members to create an internal covert faction focused on reforming our union and returning it to the hands of our members and root out corruption. Good for you. That's exciting. Good for you. Okay, how the fuck do I do this? God damn it. Okay, yep. Oh no. What the hell? Do I have to do both? How the fuck do I do that? I have to have my hand on the... Okay. Yep, there we go. Okay, yeah, a little bit easier. I don't know what we're supposed to do. How do we... No, I want to be round and small. I don't know if this is correct. I don't know what we're doing, chat. I have no idea. Fuck. I don't know how to paint. Rotation. What? Oh, we're the hunter. Oh, thank God. We get to look for people. And terribly. Okay, we have to wait 133 seconds. I don't know how we became the hunter. I thought this was other projects. I've realized my total passion for organizing. That's good. Congratulations. I'm glad. We need more people who are into organizing and shit like that. What do you think your biggest hurdle is going to be? Okay, how do I fucking do this? Okay, that's firing. Yeah, this is aiming. Different ways to aim. Okay, I see. So we're moving around. This is the way that we want to look around and shit? Okay. In general, or with, like, your current organizing and the union repair that you're trying to engage in. Okay, how do I walk faster? I don't know how. Okay, 84 seconds. We're gonna lose, but it'll be interesting. Okay, this just changes the view. So nervous. Okay, go forward. Yep. There's no other way to go forward? No, this is just view. It's weird to have it in my other hand, and I don't know why, because SWD? Okay, that does work. Okay, thank goodness. It's just like, fuck, this is weird. Like, inverted. That's better. Thank goodness. Alright, we're alright. Okay, we're doing okay. We've got 45 more seconds before we go hunting. And I don't know how long we go hunting for. Okay, I'm standing on the hunter thing. It won't let me anymore. Okay. I'll back up. You know, oh, there we go. Yay. This one's to fire? Okay. If anybody wants to join. Trying to stay secret to keep out of the eyes of the union government, passing reform without them blocking them, and thus trying to block the biggest offenders from running in our elections. Yeah, that makes sense, because I guess if they were to find out, they'd want to try and stop you, obviously, so they would run against you. Okay, fuck. Go forward. How do I spot people? People are in photos? What the hell? I'm supposed to see you in this? This is garbage. There is... Oh, I spotted somebody at some point. Where? 10, 9, 8. Next. Okay, so nobody is... I haven't seen anybody yet. Okay. Ed Sheeran? No. No. Nobody yet. Can't see anybody on here. No. Okay. Am I the only hunter and there's only 2 of them in this massive freaking place? Okay. I haven't seen anybody yet. I can't go this way? What the hell is this? Jonah, I think I'm just gonna eat out. Found another dead cockroach in the utensils. Oh, I'm so sorry. That's disgusting. Nova! Protein? That's disgusting, Nova. Okay. Nobody yet. I don't see anybody yet. There's only 2. You're not there. What is that sound? What am I missing? Up here? Are you up here? I'm missing you. Why do I feel like you're right in front of me? Or I'm hearing shit. I can't get to the rest of the stupid frickin' museum because I can't jump or anything. This is garbage. Oh, I can jump. Thank God. I was just like, I can't get anywhere. Nova. That's disgusting. I think that's fair. I technically eat out every single day. Oh, now you go quiet? I think I see you. What the hell is this? Shut up! Thing. Okay, you're not in there. You're not in here. I don't see you. Okay, jump forward.
So close.
Okay, that's not fair. They said I was so close, but I don't see them. I can't jump. Oh, I can. Yes, I can. They said I was so close, but I don't believe them. I think that they're full of shit. It's like I'm hearing them back and forth. I'm out of ammo. Oh, I saw them. They're here. They're here soon. There you go. I see you. Hello. I'm so sorry. There's one. And then right behind me? Where are you? In the flowers? No. Here? No, I don't see you anywhere. I hear you, though. Am I close to them? Look for any bumps and raised objects. Yeah, I feel like I'm right in front of you, but I can't see you because there's no frickin' shadow or anything. Nice! Yay, we got it. I did not see them at all. There's that one. Where was the other one? I don't see it. I'm trying to find it. Sorry, guys. I'm not very good at finding these things. Huh. I don't know. Oh, there. Oh, I see. Let's see if I can catch it quickly. Right up in the corner. Oh, that's fair. That was pretty good. I didn't see that at all. Jesus Christ. Okay, now what? By the way, feel free to join. Thank you for the tip also. This was pretty fun. I'm glad that I got this game. We'll play a couple of rounds and then we'll call it for the day. Because I'm still hungry, unfortunately. As annoying as that is. I just want to make sure that my camera is actually visible. Okay. Whoops, I don't know what happened. I guess we got kicked from the server for some reason. Find a public server? Yes, search public servers. Feel free to let me know if you'd like to join. Meeting? I don't know what this is. Painting masters only? Okay, we're definitely not a painting master. Basic mode, no mod? I don't know what that means. Who cooked? In progress, casual fun, everyone welcome. Can I join but not play? Men only. What the hell? It's 1 a.m. and I must go to work tomorrow. It was good chatting with you to you again. Yes, likewise, Nova. I hope you have a good day at work tomorrow. Don't work too hard, obviously. But yeah, thank you for stopping by. It was a good congratulations again on the upcoming graduation and finishing school and stuff like that. That's very exciting. I'm excited for you. You'll have to fill us in when you get another chance how the graduation went. Yeah, no problem. Have a good day. Bye, Nova. Okay. Daddy Domicile. Death Game. What the hell? Beginners welcome. Everyone, United States. Okay, let's join this one. It sounds interesting. Let's see how we do. I kind of like being a hunter because I don't know how to... I don't know how to go on the ground and stuff, though. That's the thing. I haven't seen instructions for how to do that yet. I've won 1 game. Somebody's won 43 games? Bill Nye the Sugo guy? What the hell does that mean? Lunatic? Nice. I don't know how to whistle either. Space is climb. Okay. Rotation lock. Rotate in place. What does that mean? Okay. That's not helpful. How do I... Yeah. Paint mode is F? Oh, there we go. Okay, so how do I paint myself? Oops, that's not what I meant to do. Brush, and then size. Okay, yeah, how do I get colors, though? Ah, shit. Okay, I'm gonna be this size this time, and see how that goes. Holy crap, this room is so full! Goodness. That was so many people. And we only have 2 hunters? Oh my goodness. Okay. They have a lot of time to paint, so I don't know how well this is gonna go. We'll see. Can I paint myself now? Yes. Okay. But how do I select a color? Like this? And then paint? No, that's giving me white again. I want blue. Whoops. I want, like, how do I change it? This? Is this the button? No, you're not working for me? You're being a pain in the butt? Saturation? Is that it? How do I up these? I want this color. Or that color. Why can't I sample? How do I do that? There we go. Here, this button. Sample. Yes, blue. Good enough. Okay, paint. How do I make it big again? This and then this? There we go. Okay. Good enough. I just want to be blue all over. There we go. Come on, paint the feet. We still got a few seconds. Oh goodness, how do we rotate? Like this? Like this? Like this? Uh-oh. F, and then we... No. F around? How do we get the front of it? Okay, well, whatever. We're multicolored now, I guess. That's just how it is. Okay, F, out of that. AWSD. Okay, there we go. But I still don't know how to... how to bend down or anything. Yep, there's that. But we want to be able to see. Okay, we still have, like, we have so many people to hunt in this game. We have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 people at least. Oh my gosh. They're gonna be hiding all over the place. Lemurion. Meganerio? Aganero? What the hell? Okay. Come on. This noise is going on for a particularly long amount of time. Becoming slightly anticlimactic. Okay, there we go. Finally. What? Why are you standing right here? Hello? Are you alright? Did you not know what to do? Okay. That's something. I don't know how to bend down, so they're gonna have to be responsible for that. For people under the table. I'm sorry, you're so obvious there. It's multiple of you? It's multiple of you. Okay. Oh, no, they're gone. Hello. I don't know how to get down. Okay, there's somebody that sounds like they're around here, but I can't bend down, so. Because I don't know how. Oh, there you go. Got him. Okay, I'm getting out of here. In the chair at all? Around the chair at the start? Anything? No? Okay. Okay. Tell me if you spot anything. Actually don't, because that's cheating. Nice try? I guess? I'm assuming that some people don't know how to paint yet. And so as they're doing this, hello, I hear you. I hear that you're in here somewhere. Are you in here? No, but you're around here somewhere. I hear you. I just don't know how to get the hell out of here. How do I get out of here? Let me go. Okay. So you're somewhere around. Are you in here? No. Are you behind here? That I see. Okay. Over the locker. Anybody on the ceiling anywhere or in anything? Nope, I don't see anything. Okay, let's go around here. Anything at all? Are you in a bad spot, a difficult spot to reach? Can I go up? I can. Okay. And I can go up here too. Check. Nothing. I don't see anything. Okay, let's keep going. I think this spot is fair to say that it is clear. Somebody's around here though. Okay, somebody's just like literally just exploding everything. Okay, I can't bend down, so I can't check there. Let's quickly just check around here. Just in case. They got one person, but we still have like 6 people to go. Anything above us? No. No? Okay.
They finally shot me.
Okay. Come on, let me go. Over top. Down this way. Me down. I think that's behind us, but we're gonna go this way. Because I am being stubborn, and fuck that. Okay. How could it be behind us? Where would it be behind us? Not in the chair. In the clock at all? In one of the corners? Anywhere around here? I don't see anything. I've shot everything. And there's nothing here, so they've got to be under stuff, but I don't know how to get under things. Huh? Bend? B? No? Nothing? Okay, well I can't bend under things, so other people are gonna have to. Yeah, I think that they're under the table, which I can't get to. God damn it! And they're not the balloons, because I checked those, and I can't check in here, right? Okay. Anything on the ceiling? Anything on these signs? Nope. I thought I saw somebody in a corner, but no. Is there anybody under this ramp anywhere? Can we check? Are we able to? Are we able to look? Not that I can see. Okay, go up. Go up and forward. Somebody sounds like they might be behind us. I don't know if you're able to go in here. Are you able to go up the slide? What about down? Anything? There's only Sam I left. Okay. Are they anywhere around here? Do we get any more whistles? I don't see anything around here. Can we go higher? Yes. All the way up? Anything? No. I don't see anything. I don't think that we can, like, die. So we don't have to worry about that. At least. Okay. Yeah, they're back this way. They're not a ball. Are they up in one of these? I don't think that they can get up in one of these. Can they? They can. I can't see them. They're not in any of the arches, right? They're not in the towels. They're not in this. They're not anything like this. They're not a flamingo. They're not a towel there. No, no, no. Not that I see. No, not in there. Not in the box. Not on the box. Behind the slides at all? Anywhere behind the slides? No? Okay. I have literally no idea where this person is, and we've got like 2 seconds left to find them. Damn! Where was it? I still have no idea. There it is. Okay, way back there. Go, go, let's see. Because everybody likes seeing. Oh yeah, that's like a hard spot to find. How did we miss that? Oh my goodness. Okay, oh well. Alright, let's see what's going on, guys. Just give me a second. Oops. Alright. Let's see. Let's do Wondable. Or actually, let's do, yeah. Let's do Wondable. We'll raid Wondable today. Thank you so much, everybody. Did it work? Yay! Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out. My name is Wax Philosophical. I like to wax the philosophical. And I am exhausted for the day. We covered quite a bit today. Monday, we'll get back into politics and stuff like that. We might do a little bit more gaming and stuff, but for the most part, we're going to be doing politics. Thank you so much to everybody who hung out today. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. It has been a long week. We still don't know where Mitch McConnell is, if he's actually alive or not, although Hassan says he's having an illicit affair with the man. I don't know how we can confirm that, or if we would ever fucking want to. Regardless of that, I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend. Thank you again so much, and go say hi to Wondable for me. Thank you guys. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye.